Look at that. With 1:50 to spare. I was like, I want some coffee. I didn't have enough this morning. Do I got time to make another pot? And I did. It's amazing what you could pack in a couple of minutes. It's amazing. No, I don't have to. No, you got time. You can do a lot in a couple of minutes. I want to sit and do nothing. I want to sit down. I want to sit. Everyone wants to sit. Apparently, that's what everybody wants to do in life is sit. They don't want to get up. They don't want to do. I mean, to take an immediate dark turn, I'm rapidly, I'm not being edgy. I'm not being, look at me, all nihilistic, the word of which I didn't know 2 years ago. I had to look it up. Oh, look at me. I'm the guy with the funny mustache who, what's his name? Zarathustra. That guy. Why can't I think of, he looks like a Matt Fournier with a walrusy mustache. What is that guy's name? You guys are all yelling it in the chat room, I know. Goethe? No. He's a German guy. We're not leaving until I figure out this. I'll just type it in. No, nihilism. Philosopher. Nietzsche. There we go. Fred Nietzsche. I'm not trying to, look, I just read and discovered him. No, basically, based on the number of people that I've seen in my, and again, the team that I used to belong to, how many people just give up on life and sit on their fucking ass? About 90% of y'all just put a bullet in your head. Just end it, okay? Either live life or not. And 90% of people just want to sit on their ass and do nothing. Like looking at people just waste this one precious thing that's one commodity you all got, and you all sit there with your thumbs up your asses. You let people hang on. Let me show you. Let me show you. Shall we do some math, boys and girls? Let me go and type in. Oh God, what's her name? Nicki Minaj. Nicki Vajaj. Nicki, fill it in. Minaj. All right, let me just click on her first video here. Nicki Minaj, 21.6 million subscribers, 24 videos. 24 videos. All right, hang on. Let me just click on one. Let's go to the videos here. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want it. Why is it playing? God damn it. I can't listen to that. Hang on. Oh, wow. Okay, 4 million. I got to turn this off. All right. There we go. I just clicked on her first video. And like every modern day website you go to, it immediately pumps music and loud. Everything has to be a gas pump today. It has to yell at you. Buy this. Oh my God. Zany shit happened on my crappy internet website news source. Hey, this crazy zany thing happened in the gossip columns today. We're going to force People magazine up your ass while you're pumping gas, whether you want it or not. Oh, it's a new guy. It's a new guy with 1,000 whole freaking followers on the Twitter. Hey, guys, it's zippity zap. And wow, look at this crazy thing. And you all think because it's on the screen, it must be important. It must be official. And then you click on it, you're like, this is a fucking dropout journalism major who's a fucking no one. So we'll go back to the math. I click on Nicki Minaj. We're going to call her Nicki the Vag. How's that? Huh? That's witty. This is witty as anyone who listens to her think it witty. 4.6 million people watched a 3-minute video or 4-minute video. So 4 times 4, 16 million minutes lost. It's a 16 million. 16, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 divided by 4. No, that's not right. 16 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 divided by 60 minutes. That gives us 266,000 hours divided by a 2,000 hour work year. That was 133 years, work year wasted. Like, imagine you going to the office every year. Oh, I know it's spread across 4 million people. Just hear me out. So you go to the office just for one work year. Imagine doing 133 of those. Like you die, you wouldn't live that long. But like that's what, 4 career lifetimes, 4.5. Now, I know again, it's over 4 million people, but that's how we as a community, as a society, as a population decided to waste 3 lifetime careers watching that shit. Not joking, everybody. Put a fucking bullet in your head. What are you going to accomplish? What are you going to do? Not that I'm the final judge. I mean, I'm libertarian. You do what you want. I'm curious. I'm not advocating everyone commit suicide. I'm curious. Make the point for me why most people don't. What do you do? Wake up in the morning, get your EBT card. Oh, dang, I got to pay off my student loans. Well, hopefully somebody down the road will vote to take it all away. Somebody else, not me, make the pain go away. Somebody else, not me, go and make my life better. This is pair quoting Turd Flinging Monkey. And then you got all this free time, and what do you? Let's sit. Oh, let's sit. Let's flip for our phones. Hey, you want to go do something? I had a buddy. We're still friendly. I don't know if he's alive. He may be a digital hologram for all I know, or an AI system on the Facebook who occasionally texts me every once in a while on the app. And I said, hey, what's going on? You up for dinner tonight? Because I was going to be in his area, or at least last he was spotted. Oh no, how about Sunday? I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, hit me up then. I just knew it wasn't going to happen. Why? Why are you people here? Why? What are you doing? Why are you watching TV? What is going on? If you're not watching TV, okay, maybe you don't watch. All right, every once in a while you watch a show. But when what was it? I remember, was it the Millennial Book? Looking up the Millennial Book. Like how much people watch TV. Now that was a big thing back in the 80s and 90s. I know a lot of people watch the 70s too. All the stay-at-home wives watching Days of Our Lives. Again, not generational. Really, what? If you're watching soap operas, oh, really, why are you alive? Why? You watch the news. I understand you want to pay attention to news, make sure. But like if you're an addict, why? And then now it's how many people are, it's just moving from television to the internet. And if you're watching documentaries or something to maybe stimulate your mind, but if you're just basically eating junk food for your mind, watching music videos of Bitchy the Vag, I wonder, like, okay, why are you here? I know your parents are probably crap. I got that. Your teacher's a lying sacks of filth. I got that. But wouldn't somewhere along the way, like you graduate out of things, you get older. I don't necessarily mean more mature, but something that was new and novel is no longer novel anymore. And so like I watch my little nieces, everything is new. Everything is novel. Everything truly is awesome. And I envy that. I'm like, look, they're excited because, it's Halloween time. And we go for adventure. Now, for me, that's just a walk on a block I've done a billion times before, and I know exactly what's around the corner. It's just... But to them, it's... wow. Is there a dragon around that tree? Is there a tribe of the lost Amazonian tall woman super race? They don't know. So we go through this neighborhood, and on the corner, the city or county had put bales of hay up, like a little. Oh, they're on that in half a second. They thought that was great and amazing. But the day is coming. Maybe they're 8 or 9, 10 or 11, 12, certainly 13. They're not going to want to play on the bales of hay. Then they'll move on to other things like video games in case of guys predominantly. Girls probably, I guess, no matter what you say, you girls still will gravitate towards fashion, towards what the girls on the other girls on the internet are saying is fashionable, even though not one man was consulted about whether it was attractive or not. But I know how it's all about the Borg. It's all about the hive. Obey the hive. Become one with the sisterhood. Don't think independently. I'll show you. I'll be thin with big tits and wear heels. No, curse you. But they'll move on. And then they'll say, I don't want to, hang on, this is bothering me. This is really bothering me. How do I deal with this? That's going to drive me nuts. But they move on because things get tiring. They get boring. And then they're interested in boys, and then they're interested in feminism, and they're interested in politics, and then they're interested in this, and they're interested in that, and they're interested in ballet, tap, and jazz, which, by the way, are not real dances. So not real dances. I've had many women. How many of you have had a dance experience before? I've had tap, jazz, and ballet. No, that's you girls dancing a routine that is no different than doing the achy breaky heart or the Macarena. I mean, like where you follow and lead. No. But I know how to, great. You know how to tap your left foot in a choreographed manner. That never fucking employed anyone. Why are you here? So you graduate, you get sick of you, and things are new. Yeah, and then they go away. A new hobby, and then you go away. But we seem that like a significant percent of the population seems to stop and stagnate right at about 16 or 17 where, it's what's on the screen. What's on the television, whether it's internet or actual cable or not. And that just carries us through. Well, doesn't that get boring? Like, wasn't school boring after the first 3 days of kindergarten? Was it? I mean, I know maybe I always use this as an example to show the concept of novelty. But was it Disney World a little, that was great and wonderful when you're a little kid. But yeah, do you want to go to it now as an adult? Driving. Oh, wow. That's the greatest thing ever when you're 15 and a half, 16, or a millennial, 27, when you finally get your driver's license. It's so funny because it's true. But now it's like, oh, God, I got to drive somewhere. It should look, so shouldn't, of all things, television, internet-based or not, shouldn't that get tiring? I know you guys are watching a screen right now, perhaps, or just tuning in, but we're talking philosophy here. I'd argue that this is a little bit more. There should be an exception here because it's stimulating your mind, but I'm talking like 4.6 million. 3 lifetime careers of human time wasted watching Vicky the Vag sing a song. And I'm sure it's not any different than all of our other 24 videos. I'm sure in my day, I couldn't believe kids my age were watching. It wasn't Maury Povich, but it was one of those. What was it? One of those fake deal TV show. Oh, you're not the 5. Was it Maury Povich? Was Maury in Chicago? I think this guy was in Chicago. It was one of those filth shows. And I knew at the time, as I think a 13 or 14-year-old boy, like, why are you guys watching this? Let's go play. Let's go. Oh, but this guy, he said this thing. She said that guy was the father, but this guy thinks it's his. I'm like, even then, I'm like, do you guys remember wrestling? Do you remember the WWE? God bless it. God bless Hulk Hogan, Junkyard Dog, Superfly Snuka. Sergeant Slaughter, the Iron Sheik, God bless all, Jake the Snake, all those guys. When you get older, you realize just what a job and a performance that was. Okay, I get it, but it was fake. You grew out of it by 13, 14. Guys, remember how that was fake? This is fake too. But then we all park our asses in front of the television. Oh, have you binged? No, I've been too busy binging on life. No, I didn't watch the Game of the Thorny Throne chair show. Oh, the dragons. And oh, look at that chick with the white hair. What a bitch she is. Hey, did you want to go play basketball? Did you want to take your nieces for a walk and watch them think there's a dragon and go on Adventure Time? No, we got to binge. We got to binge on the other show. The Black is the New Purple. It's about a bunch of zany gals and they say funny things. but they're all in. I don't know what the show. Who gives a shit? Oh, did you watch that? Did you? Okay. All right. You know, there's a 45. I'm just saying. Is it, are you happy? Are you happy? Is this how you're going to live your life? Hey guys. So I got this type of lipstick and this type of lipstick. So like, oh my God, you gals. What the fuck? So this color thing is slightly different, this color thing, and they're exactly the same. But if you shine the light in it, so sometimes I walk in the sun, and then if I want to have it, I'll find my face this way, but I'll put it that way. Because I sit at a desk and boom! Seriously, what in honest God's name of fuck? Why are you here? Just to consume media, I guess, huh? Go on Facebook. This is where we got to be self-critical of ourselves. Can you believe George Bush or whoever, Donald Trump, Joe Biden? Oh my God, I can't. Harumph. Can you believe Somali slut Sally, what's her name? Omar. Can you believe she wanted more of other white men's money so she didn't have to work for a living? Like, yeah, she's a parasite. That was established long ago when she majored in bullshit at the University of Minnesota and demanded everybody else pay for it. Yes. Go, do, live. What in God's name? This isn't even like, it's not even like, oh, Cappy had a cancer scare. And it's like, no, I'm really looking at people like, wow, this is what we spend our time on, huh? This is what it is. And this is my team. Yay. What are you going to do for fun? Well, let me tell you the first stage of fun, okay? The first stage of fun is the tooth pulling stage, because in order to have real fun, you need other people around. So that's where you go now in your 20s and teens. Pretty easy to get you bypass the tooth pulling stage. Once you're at 25, 26, especially if your buddy gets sniped off by a woman, well, we start with the tooth pulling stage. Right? Now there's sub processes within the tooth pulling stage. Depends on who you're trying to go have fun with. Okay, and you start this a month in advance. Cappy, why don't you give me 3 days a heads up? Why can't you just have some flexibility in your schedule? I got to schedule in fun. Jesus Christ, you got to schedule in fun. Geez, everybody got all like, why can't you just drop out for a beer? All right, first stage, to the tooth pulling stage. Depends on who you're trying to pull out of the matrix, essentially. So if you go to your regular guy friend or your regular female friend, at minimum, first process, sub-process, is they're going to be tired. They all have busy days. Everyone had a busy day. No one had a lax day. I don't even know why we use the word busy. It should be implied now. I'm too busy. I had the busy day. Oh, you had the busy day. Well, shit. There's the gun. Put it in your head and pull the trigger, because every day of your life is going to be busy from here on out, apparently. So you got to fight the busy day. So you say, come up with an activity that's not busy. Do you want to sit and grab a beer? I'll pick you up. There, see how you're accommodating? You've had a busy day. Why don't we sit and chill over a cigar? Because you had a busy day. I don't know. Now this is the next process. It's getting kind of late. Now, it doesn't matter what fucking time of day it is. It could be 3 p.m. It's getting kind of late. Because I got dinner, and then dinner's going to lead to the Orange is the Purple Woman in the Prison show, and then I got to watch my Bitchy the Vag video, and then the wife likes to, and then we got to settle. Then we got to watch the the Chair of Thrones show, and then we got to watch more of our screen TV before we go to bed. She likes to know how to do her makeup the next day. Should she happen to be fall, but not too late fall, kind of mid-fall, not too early fall? What are the right colors and pastels of shades of brown and orange and yellow? Should I get cologne and perfume that smells like pumpkin? The chick is going to tell you on a show, chicky fashion. So you got to fuck because late in the day. Well, the sun's still out. What? I'll get you back, girl. No. Oh, well. Now, here's where the dragon is. This is where Bowser. Now you're in Bowser's castle. This is the last boss of the stage of the pulling the tooth stage. Is if they need permission because they're married or otherwise committed to somebody. Now they say it's out of your hands. You got to be a stoic, like, oh, it goes to the higher council. Throw yourself, grovel at the feet of the higher council. Wife, husband, may I go out with my friend Bill, Amy, Charlie, Sylvia? Well, meanwhile, let me point out, you've wasted an hour negotiating, going out for an activity that would probably take an hour. Hey, you want it? Yeah, let's go. Hey. So they must plead their case to the court. Dear significant other, your honorable significant other, I would like to go out with plebiscite plebe Cappy. Well, and there's always something to do because they're busy. Everyone's busy. It's busy. We got to do this thing that we've postponed for years on end, but by God, we got to get it done today. We really ought to go to Home Depot to get the bird bath. I'm not joking. I mean, that's just what comes to. I've heard lamer excuses. Well, I gotta go, and if I gotta go, you gotta go. I gotta go to the grocery. You have to go to the grocery store. I mean, we have to go to. They say, well, we have to run an errand, and I want to point out, say, no, there's no we. You don't have to. She might. Or she doesn't have to, and you might. Only one person needs to run that errand. But no, see, you must suffer. We must waste everybody's time by both of us must go and suffer chores together instead of more strategically and economically. I would say as well, you knock out that chore, I'll knock out this chore. We'll come back and like Voltron, we'll unite with free time and our days won't be as busy. And then and I'll be honest, once they get to that committed stage to somebody, you'll never see them. Every once in a while, you'll see every once in a while. And then the kid show, and there's like this 20-year hiatus. Moses goes wandering half the time in the Sinai Peninsula. And then like, hey, what's going on? Oh, every once in a while you see him. Every once in a while. But then you say, oh, what have you been up to? Oh, I've been busy. With what? Work. Anything fun? No. Did you go try out? I went hunting the other time. Like you always do. Went fishing. Oh, like you always did. And everyone's stuck. That's where everybody is. With little bleeps. Like, I did this one thing I really like once a year. I did that one thing. I went to Sturgis. Ooh, yay. Oh, we did a poker run on our motorcycles. Yay, with your brand new shiny motorcycle that you've had for 5 years and it's got 3,000 miles on it. So there you go. So Cappy's a little tired. See, I got that coffee. That coffee's brewed now. Why? Because I didn't let half a Chickie the Vag video delay my enjoyment and consumption of a good cup of pumpkin coffee. Pumpkin spice coffee. It's good. It's good coffee too. Can we? Yeah, I could. Yeah, I can. These little bits of things add up. 20 little bits of it. All of a sudden it adds up and chores are done. Things are ready. And you got a little bit of free time all of a sudden. Oh, it's a miracle. Cappy isn't human. He must be a demigod with magical powers birthed to him by the Scandinavian Jew god. Hey, I'm the Scandinavian Spaniard Jew god. What powers can I grant you? You'll shave off a minute or two. Really? Yeah. Let's throw in some salsa dancing skills because you're Spaniard. All right, that'll be sexy. Can I do pirate shows? No, you're not. You're not Spaniard enough. Oh, yeah, you could do Viking shows. Well, you're kind of short. No, Cappy the Viking. Boy, I would be the scrawniest little Viking, wouldn't I? I'd be like the guy with the glasses and I think he lost his fingers or his hands in Humongous. The speaker for Humongous. What was the show? Mad Max. You know, the roving band, and he's hilarious, humongous. Da, da, da. I'd be that little one on the Viking ships. They wouldn't take me. I wouldn't. They're like, well, wouldn't you be worried about rape? Well, they're going to go over across to Britain to rape and pillage over there. I don't know. I'd be the accountant when they got back. Hey, what's going on? All right, that's 40 tokens of plunder, 300 units of pillage, and it's been a good GDP for the Vikings this year. Yeah, look, I'll do some analysis. You don't care because you're paying another. Okay, never mind. If I want to get really geeky, hang on. I'm going to get a coffee. I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you how I'm really geeky. Hang on. Exodore, I think, is the guy's name. That's what I'd be more like. Now, this is going to throw you guys back. It's Robotech. You guys remember Robotech? Huh? Anyone see that? And it was the Macross saga. And I think the advisor's name was Exodore. And the Zentradi, who are the alien race that the humans fight. It's an interesting anime. It's not, I know that introduced a lot of the old timers to anime. It's not that bad. The English translation, some stuff was lost in translation. But basically, if you're not familiar with it, they discover an alien ship on Earth, and they build it up. It's damaged, but they reverse engineer the technology and they get it fired up. The SDF-1, and then I forget how the plot went. Because Robotech is actually 3 separate animes put together with some editing to make it sound like it was a continuum, which it was not. So this big alien spaceship, and it's big, it's huge. Like, the aliens must be monstrous in size. They must be giants because the hallways and the corridors dwarf humans. They're like, well, this is weird. So they build it up, and they go off into space. Well, then the aliens who built that thing come back for it, which I don't know why there weren't any alien bodies around. And these aliens are called the Zentradi. And surprise, surprise, they look just like human, except they're tall and they're green. Kind of like the Green Giant, actually, except hostile. And then this great battle epic space saga happens. And I forget why they're trying to get back to the SDF-1. And then the SDF-1 does all these firing and it's new technology. And it's not bad. It's not bad. Like 14, 15-year-olds would find it amazing. And then you get a little bit older, like, that's kind of weird. That guy, whoever's doing the voiceover, didn't know how to distinguish rank because beforehand he was a sergeant. Now he's a lieutenant. Now he's back to a sergeant. Which one is it? What was I going with this? Oh, so the Zentradi and the humans are duking it back and forth, and they end up, maybe I'm confusing this with Voltron, but I do believe there are some peace envoys made where it's like, why are we fighting each other kind of thing. And the diplomat is Exodore. Right? And he's a short Zentradi, but he still towers over human. But you can see he's almost crippled and everything like that. Imagine a walking, talking Stephen Hawking, except green and really tall, but not as tall as Zentradi. And that's Exodore. So I remember that. That's what I would be. So there you go. Let it never be said I wasn't nerdy. All right. We got any super chats going on? Let me get through the... Wow, we don't have... Oh, there they are. There you are. 9:04 a.m. All right, then I don't think I missed any. Nicholas Daniels for $2. Aaron, I'm 21 with $200,000. What the fuck do I do? What do you mean? How'd you get 200,000? Did you inherit it? That's about the only way I could think of. Maybe you bought Bitcoin when you were 16. Oh, that's good coffee. All right, 200,000. Well, let's not fuck this up. All right, now I'm not going to tell you what to invest in specifically, but I'm going to tell you areas that you need to research where you might want to invest in. Although I have no problem pointing out a couple things. I always advise people get 200 ounces of silver. Okay, boom, take care of that. Get yourself some guns and ammo. Train. You need a pistol, rifle, carbine, shotgun. I'll let it be up to you which ones you want. That's not going to make a dent in your 200,000. I would say get some crypto. Me and Modern Life John were talking about this yesterday on his show. He says 2 Bitcoin. I'm for 1. But keep in mind, these are insurance policies. You know, you don't want them going up in value because that means something really bad happened. But Bitcoin, maybe 10 grand in crypto, maybe diversify. Maybe not a full Bitcoin, maybe diversifying a little bit. Up to you. All right, but you still, you got 187,000 left after this. I would use some of that to either go to college or trade school so that you're not just dependent on this money. Okay, get yourself a really good trade or a skill, whatever that may be, CPA, engineering, whatever, so that your value of your time per hour of time multiplies multi-fold. So you're not just dependent on retaining and conserving this capital. And then I would see, you're too young. If you had done reconnaissance around the United States, which you can go ahead by, where's the book? That's not it. This is The Way of Men by Jack Donovan. Great book. That's not where it was. I got all these books. Reconnaissance Man. Read this book. And here's where we go. If, then, but, then, ampersand in, ampersand out. If you knew in your heart of hearts where you wanted to live in the United States or the world, then I'd say, okay, well, maybe use that money to put a serious down payment on a house. But you're 21. You haven't traveled. I almost guarantee you haven't traveled or been experienced enough to know where, in fact, you want to live. Now, if you know you want to live in your town for quite some time, like you're sure about that, maybe you want to rent some rooms to some buddies. I had a buddy who was 24, 25. He did something like that. He bought a house, rented out the rooms to his buddies. He sold the house for a mint, but then the housing market crashed. So keep in mind, there's risk involved in this. Yeah, maybe you could buy a house, but in the meantime, you should invest that in a diversified portfolio of stocks and bonds, of which I'm not going to tell you what that is. That's where you hire a financial advisor or you do your own research. And I recommend you do your own research and you look at the things like index investing or robo-advisors. And I'll talk about index investing briefly, but the vast majority of investment professionals cannot beat the index. They have failed to beat the index, so you do not need to pay someone to professionally manage your funds. You can invest in the index and statistically likely, not guaranteed, beat the average actively managed investor professional. Not a guarantee. Also, the index could go down, by the way. Don't say, but the stock market went down. Use it. No, I didn't say everything would go up, but you go and invest in a diversified portfolio. Leave a little bit for you to perhaps pursue your studies. I would say join the military on top of it. You knew that was coming. I say that because it pisses everybody off. But you might as well join the military. Why the hell not? Get that out of your system. That'd be a good idea. Just park that money somewhere in a diversified portfolio. You go join the military for 4 years. Then maybe it grows to 300,000 or 400,000, depending on how much money we print off. But your economy is so bad, Aaron. But why does the stock market keep going up? Did not Trump just print off 30% more money? Yeah, but well, there you go. Stop overthinking it. He's an economic genius. Yeah. You know how you be an economic genius? You get the balls to point out the truth. That's how you're an economic genius. You're just the kid that points out the emperor's got no clothes. It doesn't take a master's degree. It doesn't take a doctorate. It doesn't take some kind of econometrics. You just point out, hey, People be poor because they have way too many kids than they can afford. Hey, I solved poverty. What you economists have been trying to do for centuries, I just solved it. Stop having kids you can't afford. Vasectomies for all men. Vasectomies for all men. And then you can have them extracted, the sperm extracted, when you're ready to have a kid, not when she conveniently forgets her birth control. Ari! He said things that he's a bad economist because he told the truth. Yes, but I'm the world's greatest economist because I admit I don't know anything. I just told the truth. And that's how you become an amazing economist like me. You don't have to go to school. All right. A competent man, $5. Stagnating around age 16 or 17. I'm surprised to hear this from you. I came to this conclusion a few decades ago in 1990, but I had no explanation for it. Well, I don't have an explanation for it either, competent man. Yeah, I mean, staying around, I'm surprised to hear this from you. So you agree it's about 16 or 17. Yeah, I don't know why. I have no idea why. And maybe people are just sheep. Maybe I got to stop being so optimistic about humans. But 18, I remember when we graduated from high school, was the bell sounded, and everyone in my class was like pounding on the lockers and freedom, that kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, freedom of what? Did you go and do anything? Did you live life? No, they all, you can look on Facebook. You can find out like, no, you went on to live. You didn't live. I'm sorry. You went on to waste your time, your precious life on completely ordinary, if not inferior lives. And I don't know what the pull of TV is. I don't know. I mean, is it escapism? I know some of that is escapism. Like your life sucks so much that you have to retreat to this. Well, why don't you make your life not suck so much? And I admit, once you have kids you can't afford, your life is going to suck. Your life is going to suck. And you can salvage that by finding purpose and agency, though. The consolation prize, well, now you got a kid. Like, look at Luis. He takes his kids out hiking. Those kids love it. He's suffering financially, of course. He's got kids, and his ex is crazy. But he's got his kids. They get to go, and they love dad. And then the day is coming that little Luisa is going to leave. And she'll hug dad, before she goes off. And then Luis is going to be, I know it's really hard and difficult, but I miss my kids and hiking around in the forest. So you got that. But you did, well, maybe that's better because you're forced to spend time with your kids and suffer a little bit and go work. At least Luis, I guess, he doesn't have time to waste his time looking at television. But man, yeah, I don't know why. Okay, you just don't want to invest the time and effort to make your life really cool and awesome. All right, you'd rather watch it and live vicariously through other, essentially photons of light stimulating your eyes and sound waves stimulating your ears. But no. Anthony CMA, $2. You're a bigot. Go worship your triple K God. Triple K God. What's the trip? Hang on. Triple K. The Jews, the scan. I'm not a bigot. Oh, you mean the KKK? I'm not a bigot. I'm not. What if he's joking? Wow. A lot of comments here. 23. Booty, boo. Did we get everything? Here, James, $5. So, pursuit of women not worth it. How do you stop wanting sex? You don't. No. Okay, look, guys. There are a lot of problems that have no solution, and the only solution is to accept reality and suffer. I wouldn't say the pursuit of women is not worth it. You have to accept reality, change your tactics, and come up with a strategy that will provide you the most successful shot. At the same time, acknowledging the statistical unlikelihood you're going to find a quality woman. Now, I had to start delving into the other side of this because I've had several gals come in, ask how they find classical traditional men. And it's about as bad, okay? Because the men aren't saints either. But I tell the women the same thing. All right, here's your strategy. Lose weight, shock. Stay thin, dress like a female, be feminine. Be very clear in your dating profile what you want. Wide range, fine net. Be willing to fly out or drive out to meet men that meet these standards. All right. But then always at the end, the last chapter of advice is expect no success. Reel in your expectations. Okay. So that's what it is. So the pursuit is still worth it if you can find the right gal, of course. You got to change your strategy, employer strategy. That might, but I won't lie to you. Yeah, it's statistically unlikely you're going to. Now, with that being, how do you stop wanting sex? You don't. That is hard. It's like, how do you stop wanting to eat? How do you stop wanting to breathe? That is a biological, hardwired program thing. I guess if you wanted to, you could become a eunuch and get rid of your balls. I guess you could take drugs to counter the effects of testosterone, but your body's going to start getting dopey and pasty and doughy. So I would not go to such extreme. Here, the simple solution is go get a prostitute. Go to seeking arrangement. Fly into Amsterdam. Fly into Clark County. Do not get a prostitute in Clark County. Prostitution is illegal in Clark County. You go outside of Clark County. That's how you get it, or you go jerk off. That's it. Aaron, I can't consult the Scandinavian Jew Spaniard god to come in and just poof, magically all your sexual desire goes away. It will never go away. And thank God. I mean, I don't know, but I kind of like pretty gals. We're like, hey, look at that. She's pretty. Skipping my step today. Is it a way to lower your desire of sex after you've had a lot of it? P feels great. No, you'll have a lot of it. Like, who was I talking to? Was it Sterling Cooper? He's a porn star. I don't think it ever goes away. I mean, like, if you got a lot of it, you'll be like, okay, you'll get older. It won't be novel. It won't be exciting anymore. You'll also have less tolerance or patience for the BS you got to go through to get it. So I guess, and as you get older, your testosterone goes down, so you don't have quite the sex drive as you used to, but it's still there. You know, put a young Sophia Loren in front of you. Yeah, every guy, magically, erectile dysfunction would go away. But yeah, you don't get rid of your desire for sex. I mean, you can assuage it, get rid of it for a while, but it'll always come back. I wouldn't fight it. I would not fight it. Mega Shredder 101. How does it feel to get a vasectomy? You don't really feel much. There's like a little tug, if that even. And then you walk. It's a little sore down there. You put the ice pack on or the peas for 2 to 3 days, and you're fine. It really was nothing. It's nothing. I like that because you don't see it, what's happening, and they numb you up, of course, first. I'd rather do that than like have blood drawn because I can't stand needles. I know they didn't needle, but like they're right there with the thing and the blood. And hey, look at this loop-de-loop straw thing. Like when you're a kid, you know, look at your blood do all this crazy. You're like, oh. It's nothing. It's nothing. Hey, Doc's in the house. I just want to make sure we don't have any people monopolizing the chat room. Good. Let's go and do some sponsors real quick here. Oh wow, I gotta take a lot of these out. We are commonsenscoffee.com. Go get your coffee at commonsenscoffee.com. Check out Better Bachelor on his YouTube channel, Joker's channel called Better Bachelor on YouTube as well. Red Pill Men's Health. You can go to redpillmenshealth.com. where Greg, he's got a YouTube channel, and he focuses more on physical health as well as psychological health. Turd Flinging Monkeys, 13 Rules Not to Be a Fucking Cuck, available on paperback, Kindle, and audio. And check out his BitChute channel, where, again, I very thoroughly enjoy his economic analysis. But be prepared to disagree with some things. Like him and I disagree on women's rights. I believe women should have rights. Not that he doesn't believe in them not having rights, but he's like, we got to take the right to vote away. And he makes an argument for it. Whereas I'm like, there's a better way to manage the franchise of voting. But just so you know. Terrence Popp, check out his book, Killer of Killers, available on Amazon.com. And then also check out Terrence Popp, also on BitChute. He's on YouTube, but as you know, YouTube is getting very finicky with who they do and do not allow on their site. So a lot of it's not even, you could say it's political, but I think a lot of guys are going to alternative platforms just so we can talk. Just so we could say whatever we want without having to guard our speech and childishly have to like use different words. Like, for example, if you tune into Better Bachelor, this is not to accuse him of childishness, but he can't say boobs and vagina because he has to say bobs and vagine. And I understand, it's like being in middle school with your first grade, or not middle school, you're like elementary school with your first grade school marm. That's all it is. It's like being in church. It's like dealing with the 700 Club. It's like, oh, I heard you say darn, which happened one time when I was in school. Somebody said the word darn and shoot and geez, and we all know those are derivatives of curse words and taking the Lord's name in vain. I'm like, I am going to hunt you down when you are in a nursing home and make it a very unpleasant trip to your God. It's like that. It's like, get the fuck out of here. We're full-grown adults. Let us talk. And I understand it's their platform and all, but it really isn't like, ooh, we're going to talk about really radical politics that are bad and evil, and we're going to advocate harming people. It's like, I just like to say tits and ass. Can I say that? It's like George Carlin's kind of deal. Like, hey, I'm going to freedom of speech. Fuck off. Larry Flint, was Larry Flint the hustler guy? Like, just, oh, you leftists are all so for social freedoms, except when it comes to the freedom of speech. Except when it comes up to saying a derivative name for someone who might be a homosexual, with no offense intended. You're just calling your buddy, you're calling something lame. Dude, that is hey. That is so hey. Stop being lame. You hate homosexuals. No, we really don't. We really don't. Why are you in this locker room? Please get your first grade school marm ass out of here. You fucking grade A Quanta. See? We got it. Anyway, so check out Terrence Popp. Just search Terrence Popp. He's on YouTube and all of that. Cubanos in Wisconsin, written by my good friend Silvio Canto. You can find him also on his podcast, Canto Talk, Canto. He is obviously Latino. And if you're a Latino as well, and you are not a Marxist, leftist, or Democrat, and you're like, are there any Latinos that aren't Marxist, leftist, Democrats? Yes, Silvio would be one of them. And he does Latino news. So he's from Cuba, but he still keeps tabs on his home country and other Latin countries going on. So if you want to, political analysis from a non-leftist perspective, talking about Latin culture, check out my buddy Silvio. Dr. David Perodin. Oh, School of Errors. I got that here somewhere. Where'd it go? Doc, where'd your book go? I cleaned up. Oh, it's all the way down there. No, I'm not going to reach it. Okay. Check out Doc's book, School of Errors. And safetyphd.com, his website. He also has a podcast as well. 405media.com. Check out the 405 Media, where they're kind enough to broadcast me and Doc, among other podcasts. How Not to Become a Millennial. I got my book. I got all this damn paperwork. Why did I do? Oh, that's right. I was going to do all this. Oh, fan mail. Let's go through this. I'll clean up my paperwork. Car recall. Fix cars. Old phone, gotta deprogram that. What am I talking about? How not to become a millennial. There you go. How not to become a millennial. Mandatory book for all millennials and Gen Zers who don't want to have their fate. The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. October is Helping Black Men Out of Poverty Month. And not by just giving them money because socialism and Black Lives Matter. We actually want to help them out. I found this Captain's Quarterly. This was basically I thought I'd do a quarterly magazine where instead of backing up my blog posts, once every 2 or 3 years, and you have this book, I do it quarterly, and this is actually good. I'm looking through it now. I had a model. I still have a model. Look at that. Like she modeled like classic kind of pinup poses, and she dressed up real nice. And there's just a nice pretty one of her. But yeah, this might be a collector's. Fall of 2015. Yeah, I could have had a lot of these if we could have just had women show up on time. This is so sad. This is the one model I actually had it. Anyway, check that out. Captain's Quarterly. Worthless Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major. Throw this all down here. Rhinestones, The Fuck Files. I could say fuck because Vicky Minaj could say wet ass pussy. So Ryan sent me this really good book actually to read it. Very philosophical. Bachelor Pad Economics. Basically, you read this, male or female, and you will not be poor. That I can guarantee you. Well, you could get hit by a truck and be disabled and be poor, but it will not be by anything in that book. The Pence Principle, Lessons All Men Must Learn from Ford Kavanaugh. There has been whatever happened. Remember when there was what was it? Remember when like every month there'd be like a grape, as Better Bachelor says, a grape article, and it turned out to be a false accusation of grape? That hasn't happened in a while. Where's that? Oh, we must not have a guy nominated. See what Trump did there? Nominating a nice young lady to the Supreme Court. Oh, where's the accusations, huh? What? Oh, that shut you all up. I do actually agree, though. You guys know I'm no leftist, but I do kind of agree. It's like, yeah, Ginsburg, that was a gal. We should probably have a gal in there too. I know the sound, you guys, I'll lose all your faith. I do want to have the female input of things because they account for half the population. Just saying. Well, what do you think? Because I don't have the bobs and vagine. I would like to know what you think. All right. Part of this team too. Curse of the High IQ. That's for all of you who hated. Did you fall asleep in school? Do you think you're dumb, but you score? Here, let me ask you this odd question. Did you score really, really high on all those standardized tests? Like you got your percentile, you're like 99th percentile, but then you got like solid C's and fell asleep in school. That book is for you because school is not for smart people. It's for obedient conformists. And your teachers are dumber than fuck. Right? You want to look at the lowest IQ based on major, and admittedly, they're still above 100. But the people who have the lowest IQs by major are early childhood education majors and elementary education majors. And we send our dumbest to teach all children. Yeah, it's just babysitting. Enjoy the Decline, Accepting Living with the Death of the United States. I might have a upsell, and that's all the books I got for now. What else we got? PushingRubberDownhill.com. My friend Adam Piggott, he took his podcast down, not because he was like, I'm done. SoundCloud decided they were going to go all woke. And so he stopped paying them and took everything down. And so he'll start up again. But check out his website and his book, Pushing Rubber Downhill, at pushingrubberdownhill.com. Non-communist science fiction, go to noncommunistsciencefiction.com. If you like science fiction, but you don't want it to be communist, all the writing works of Michael Kingswood. The Black Brigade. You know what? Let's put old DT's YouTube channel. He actually followed my advice. I'll put that in the YouTubes there on the chat room. Oh, Safety Doc and I need a wrench. How do I do that, Jack? I don't want to put you in timeout. I got to do that inside the thing, don't I? I got to do that in how do I give you a wrench? I don't want to put you in timeout. Safety doc. Doc, how do I give it to you? Oh. All right. We'll deal with that later. So there's DT's site. Check them out. Black Brigade Debrief with DT. And then we got a couple other Hanyakers out there for podcasts. The League of Extraordinary Podcasters. Masculine Geeks. The Goddamn Bacon over at thegoddamnbacon.com. Jack and Rob over at Red Evening. You can find that. Jack Napier or search Red Evening on YouTube. RobSays.net. And who else? Oh, check out Rollo Tomasi's site and the guys Red Morning with Ryan Stone, Entrepreneurs in Cars with Rich Cooper. And then, I don't know. I'm sure there's others. Those are just the ones that come to mind. Maybe we should take a break and I'll give you guys the power of the band hammers. It's settings. Camera Junior I guests. No. Yeah, let's go now. How about this? Let's all take a break. I'm going to go take a piss. We'll get back to the super chat so we don't get too far down. Then I'll go ahead and I'll give you guys the band hammer. And we'll leave it at Doctor. All right, everyone take a piss. Just so you know, it's not easy. I'm sure it is easy because everybody knows how. Let's just go through the super chats and I'll go. I found is like how to add it. And it's like, oh, do this. Just go to this website and it works. No, it doesn't. I'll double check. Let me try it again. I know this is shitty. I know it's a shitty podcast. I'm sorry, guys. It's just not. All right. I'm going to go back. Subscriptions. Terrence Pop. The guys, the things, the stuff. Okay. What is the wretch next to the chat? Launches super chat. How did it grow? God, I'm even using Google for the search. All right, let's try this. Moderate live chat. Just give me the assigning moderators. Yes, you can assign moderators all live chat. Open up YouTube Studio. Okay, thank you. Click settings, click community. Settings. Community. Take your time, YouTube. I'm in no rush. Okay. Moderators. Jack, you already are a moderator. No, that's not it. From the automated filters tab, click on the moderators box. Okay. Type the name of the user you want to make a moderator. All right, I want to make Doc a moderator. Safety podcast. God fucking damn it. Oh, Doc, what's it? This is the work, guys. You think it's just, hey, it's the fuck around show with Figgity Fuck. Hey, I just click record. No, this is the bullshit. Show. The safety doc. I don't want to block you. Jack, you got a band hammer. Why don't you use it? Athamel Decua. David? No, I got nothing. You know what, guys? We're doing this after. We're doing this after. We're moving on. We're going to move on. This is just the shit. This is the minutes that get wasted because we had to make it difficult. Dr. Oatmeal for $4, for $5. Sorry. Hi, Cappy. Any chance of Chad Oakley's becoming your successor one day? No, not because I don't like Chad, but he is very not stage fright, but he does it. I said, Chad, look, there's a huge demand for accounting career advice as well as accounting advice. I was saying, do the Elkins hour. Very simple. Your friendly neighborhood CPA, whatever. Every Tuesday. It would give him something to do. No, I can't be like you, just going up there and talking for hours on end. It's like, you don't understand. You just do it. You just come up with material and do it. So it's just not his personality. We've talked about this before. Like, I might have to pass on the mantle of asshole consulting. It's going to go to Atham because he's gone through trials and tribulations and he can do it. I got to put that in a living will and a regular will too. But just let it be known henceforth that asshole consulting goes to Atham because he's the only one that can carry the mantle. Well, there's other people, but they're busy and they got things going on. And let's just admit, he'll never graduate. So here you go. Here's your job, Atham. M2PG4 for $10. Women are more capable of doing the job, keeping their word, and being a great professional. Being a great professional. If they respect you, they will treat you better than male counterparts. Problem is, guys choose to simp. I don't know. I'm more than capable of doing the job, keeping their word, and being a great professional. Yeah, they're capable of it. Yeah, I've ran into. Well, of course, it was banking. Most of the bosses I had were men, and most of them were scumbags. I think that's more of a function of banking. But I've had female bosses before. I can't say one way or the other which were better. I could say the men were worse, but that was, I can guarantee you, because they were dude bro bankers. The female bosses I had they were pushovers. They would just, we're here to help. I'll tell you this, the women in banking, now this isn't all women, but the ones I ran into, would just like, they ran it like a charity. Now everyone was running it like a charity, but like, well, we're here to help the little people. We're here to help the little people with other people's money. And then the evil male dick comes in. Really? And we introduce logic and facts and consequences and reality. No, you don't understand our business model. What? To get bailed out by some government agency? Will we all play make-believe banker or bankeress? It could be. Jack, will you get on Twitter for a second? Will you get on Twitter? Sorry, hang on. Muted. Sorry about that. This has been a shit show. Let me read this again. M2PG4, $10. Women are more capable of doing their job, keeping their word, and being a great professional. If they respect you, they will treat you better than male counterparts. Problem is, guys choose the simp. I was probably muted. The women, I said, were better bosses than the males I had, but that was more of a function of being in banking. All right, this is a great shit show. This is probably my worst podcast of 2020. This is the 2020 podcast. Fun. All right, Jack, check your Twitter and join me. You go to the chat via YouTube and click the 3 dots next to his name. That's how you make a mod in the YouTube. I gotta go to the video. It's the shit show. I grant it, guys. I'm sorry. Hang on. Options. View on YouTube. I got it, YouTube. I should be able to click. Oh, I see. Jack, you are a moderator. There's Doc. You're now a moderator, Doc. Thank you, Jack. Come on the show anyway. All right. There we go. That's it. See, this is the back office shit. How you doing, Jack?
Did you finally get it?
Fucking Christ. See, but this is the crap no one sees. And I'm like, I got to do it now. Why did I need to add Doc as a moderator if you were a moderator?
I don't know. There wasn't.
Was there someone fucking around in the chat room? What was this crisis about then?
I don't know. Not really. I mean, the only one spamming at a certain point was me. Apologies for that. But by God, was it hard to see you struggle?
It's the constant changing it's some fuckwit. It's Silicon Valley thought they were going to get their dick wet by fixing something that wasn't broke. And now it's just, none of this would have happened if we didn't have to switch out of Google community chat or whatever it was to necessitate us now going to StreamYard. Mm-hmm. But no, we got to fuck around. Anyway, how's whatever, Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, whatever country you're in.
I'm not Scandinavian.
Whatever.
Oh, the Netherlands has been fine. The weather's a bit shite, but other than that, it's been going pretty well. We've got new restrictions.
Okay.
And they were planning on canceling kickboxing classes, but they made bag classes out of them, as in the punching bag, instead of the real physical sparring. So they can keep on going. So that's nice. Other than that, still working from home. I mean, what more do I want? Government job from home. I got it.
You won the dream.
I followed your advice. It's in bachelor pad economics. Like you really want it easy? Go to the government and work from home. I mean,
are you even 30 yet?
Yeah.
You are 30. Okay. Yeah. Just 30. All right. Yeah. Well, you're still way ahead of the game.
I know.
It's
I actually got that crypto amount you and John talked about. So everything is fine.
Good. I'm glad. All right. Now we're back to regular. And now let's go. It says it's the shit show. Let me make sure I got through all my sponsors. The Science of Mastering Women by Linda Gross. BunkerBasics.com with Bunker Bob. Go there for all your prepping and survival needs. And that's it. Good. So I had 2 left there. Now, ready for some fan mail?
Yes.
Okay, let's do some fan mail because these are old. I think they're almost a year old. I just found these papers. Dear Cappy, I've been a long time watcher of your YouTube channel for many years. I wanted to thank you. I've almost read all your books, making the necessary adjustments to making my life less of a living hell. In taking your advice, I've managed to go to college for a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering with no student debt, working multiple jobs in work study and telecommunications. I'll be graduating at the end of the year, even with the COVID-19 pandemic. I've managed to continue on with life without being a parasite. Please know your wisdom has not fallen on deaf ears. Hopes this makes your day. Sincerely, Dorian. So that's a nice letter from Dorian there. Well, thanks, Dorian. God almighty, he's almost graduating by now because that email's so old. This is a short one. Quarantine seems to agree with you, sir. Increase vitriol and wit. Love your stuff. And that comes from Jay. Jay wrote that one. No, there's enough people and normal things. I was already this pissed off. It's not like COVID made me any.
You weren't born that angry.
I know. I always love the question. Who made you or who hurt you or why are you so angry? It's like, bitch, have you seen the fucking world? It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't grow up in the nice little suburb. Oh, I actually did grow in the nice little suburb, but we didn't like really have, we were the fake it till you make it type of thing. Although before that it was, I don't have to go through any. Anyway, the point is, it's like, yeah, if I had a convertible cabriolet and money shoved up my ass in college, maybe I would, be a little, but no, I'm angry for good reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I say that all the time. People ask me, or, well, not necessarily. You know that feeling where you imagine a scenario of people asking you things because you know they respond that way? It's like, who hurt you? Well, a lot of people did. Like, you're the misogynist. No, I dated a lot of girls, which gave me this opinion. Like, it's called research, kind of.
It's called empiricism.
Yeah,
I didn't choose this.
No.
I didn't like, hey, okay, let me give you a counter example, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know what my opinion is of wiener dogs?
Oh, wiener dogs, you like them?
Yeah. Do you know why I like them?
Because all the wiener dogs you have encountered are kind creatures.
And they're fun.
Yeah.
And they're kind of zany and they're stupid looking and they do dumb things. And most of them have been friendly. I've had good experiences with wiener dogs. Ask me about what my opinion is of chocolate ice cream.
It's good.
It's good. You know why?
Because every time you encountered chocolate ice cream, it didn't bite you in the ass. It just tasted good.
Even the worst chocolate ice cream was still good. It was still good. Motorcycle rides. What's my opinion of motorcycle rides?
I think TJ would differ in that opinion.
Well, I keep the shiny side up. TJ's like, dude, it's a plane. It's an automobile. It's a train. I'm super TJ. Let's get this. Yeah, this stupid motorcycle won't go up in the air. I'll show the laws of physics. So it's TJ for you.
I can guess your encounters with motorcycle rides have been good.
They've been good. How is my experiences with women been on average?
On average?
Right.
Oh, well, not so very positive, I guess.
Consistently and regularly bad. From a dating perspective, I'm not talking friends perspective or professional perspective. I've had a, but, and let's say the women that said no to a date, let's take them out of that because they were honest. The ones that said yes, using that as the study group or the focus group, all right, below average and consistently below average. To the point, the exception is that was a pleasant experience. I'd like to do that again.
Have I got a story for you?
Well,
just happened yesterday. Yesterday. So I was talking to this girl who I met on a dating app, and she told me we could get wine. And I told her, well, I can't because I still have to drive. And I don't know what you're planning. Smirky face, like being a bit of a jackass. And she's like, no, I don't do that on the first dates anymore. That's my for 2020. What's that called again when New Year's is coming? New Year's
resolution.
That's my New Year's resolution for 2020. So I bluntly asked, are you telling me you did that before 2020? Yeah, I kind of used to do that. And I just sent her like, so you're telling me that you're going to let me wait while you're admitting you gave it up for less within less time. You know what? I'm not going to drive 30 minutes for this. Have fun. And she lost it. She lost it. She was like, how dare you tell me what I can do with my body and blah, 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 and don't be childish. I'm like, you lack the cognitive capability of self-reflection. And I do not. I have self-respect, so I'm out. Bye. Like,
it's called intellectual honesty. And it's a very rare trait, and only the superior humans have it.
Thank you.
It's like the 1099er superior race and the intellectually honest superior race. Those a lot of overlap there. A lot of say, but they're a team that can unite together and give each other the fellow salute
as they pass by each other during the night.
Well, I mean, I almost guarantee you every 1099, well, not every, but the majority of 1099ers are also intellectually honest because you have to be. You can't live in delusional world like, okay, so I'll just like suck miles of dick. Oh, now I'm pure. The virgin. Yeah. No.
Well, that's what kind of ticked me off about it because I know what girls do. I know what they do. So I'm not surprised, but I have been that guy. What got me off was that she blatantly admitted it while telling me I wasn't getting any and being surprised I didn't accept that.
Right. So you had standards, which offended her sensibilities.
Oh, yeah, because, well, we can't have standard these days. Absolutely not. But she I was thinking to myself, like, how did you expect this was going to go? Like, would you expect any guy to say, well, I understand that you used to be a hoe, but now you're not anymore, so I'll respect that, and I'll buy your coffee. Like, what?
We're getting to buying coffee. Like, yeah, you're not even worth the coffee.
You know what the best thing is? In the Netherlands, you can get free coffee at supermarkets. So that's my new strategy. I'll just take them there.
Well, you just like kind of as just a nice gesture. You could get coffee. Like there's the free coffee pot. All right. And is there seating that you could sit at?
Yeah, that too. Or you just, there's a park nearby. You just walk through the grocery store, get the coffee, and walk through the park.
Okay. All right. Well, we can't do that here because it's snowing right now in Minnesota. So it would be is it good coffee at least?
It's bearable.
It's bearable.
But the company is as well, it's like
remember I was gonna say I don't know what it was like in the countries that Germany invades before they go on their way to France, but I imagine back in the day, say the 50s or whatever, a date was kind of like a date consisted of like, oh, you met at the local sock hop or the church social gathering or whatever. And then the girl would put on a dress and go, oh, I have a date. He's such a cute man. Da, 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 da. Maybe I watched too much television. I don't know. And like you would take her to the movies. Standard was movies and dinner, right?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of that was like, oh, let's go to the town and see the show and maybe go for a walk. Again, maybe I've just been too much influenced by the Andy Griffith show. I just remember him and Barney would go with their girls, and that's what they would do.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's, well, take you to the grocery store and get you a free cup of coffee.
They've done it themselves, man.
I know. I just
remember the time I got attention raped? Remember that one?
No. What do you mean you got attention?
Sorry, I said graped.
It doesn't matter. This isn't a monetizable video either. But what do you mean you got attention raped?
You don't
That's a new word. I love it.
You made it up.
What do you mean I made it up? Did I?
Yeah. In our Masculine Geek group chat, I told you about the story that I went to this girl who I met on the dating app. And we sat close to each other. We got a bit physical. And all of a sudden, she's like, well, I did break up with my boyfriend like 2 weeks ago. And I'm actually looking for someone to talk with. And that I didn't even respond and just grabbed my shoes and left.
Good. I just looked
at her. I'm like, pull on my shoes.
You told me this story? I don't remember it.
No.
God, I'm losing it. There's people like will say a quote, and I've literally retweeted my own quote. That's a great quote. And then like, are you re-quoting your own stuff? I said, what are you talking about? You wrote that. I'm like, what? And I look up and I'm like, oh shit, I did. Like, I don't remember what I say.
I mean, you've quoted some book called Bachelor Pad Economics or something about that. I mean, you should really meet the writer, man. You and him.
I guess he's a real cool. He's a real cool guy, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, you two should get along, man.
It's attention raped. I like that.
Yeah, you thought it up.
And I came up with it. It's just buying, here we go, man. I remember there was one gal, like, we're making out on the no, we weren't making out on the couch. She came to my bed with just her skivvies on. And then I went in for the kiss. She's like, oh no, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean? What are we doing? I'm like, well, we can't kiss until we're like engaged or some weird. I'm like, okay, that's it. Get out of here. Just get the fuck out of here.
Can't go away.
Get the fuck out of here. And who hurt you? It's not really hurt as it was mind rape or fuck with my head or just piss away my time.
It's disappointed. It's not who hurt you. It's who disappointed you and how many.
Would you also say exhausted me? I think exhaustion might be where you just, dude, I am done. I'm tired. I ain't got time for this shit. Where, or maybe betrays to strung along. That would be that's probably the most, we were strung along. You said X, you didn't do X. You implied Y, but, oh, well, we got to do X. Well, we can't have, I mean, the number of times, look, with the 30 by 30, right? We had that rule and rule, but that's what we both had 30 by, do you know, do you know how close I was like to adding a dozen more to that by 30?
A dozen, really?
Oh, easy. Yeah. But there'd be like, guys would call it last minute resistance. I'm not doing that because then you get into the grape world. And on top of it, it really kills your sex drive.
Yeah.
If a girl, it's like, what? And you're like, okay, well, I just want to cuddle. Now, when you're young and stupid, you'll go with that. But after a while, you're like, yeah, okay, I just spent like 3 hours on a date with you, and I got to eat or I got to make money and buy some food. It was very close. It was like 12, I'd say, would have been added to that, where like the girl's naked. Oh, we can't have sex. Well, then why are you naked in my fucking bed? Like, this is okay. Look, yeah, maybe an asshole, but thank God I'm not a rapist because this is how it might happen. Like, what if you get a guy who's not so nice? What if you get a guy who's had one too many? Okay, well, all right, fine. No. All right, goodbye.
I mean, I can imagine. I mean, maybe I'm getting too deep into the definition of words, but exhausting would mean that we put our own effort into it, which of course you want to put your effort into it, but I'm going to keep it with disappointment because you are right with you get strung along. I mean, you go on a date. This is my biggest gripe with the whole you are on a dating app and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm looking for friends. No. That doesn't work that way. I mean, on Facebook, you get friends. Dating apps are for dating apps. So you're right with the whole strung along thing. They do strung you along. And in the end, they just disappoint. But I can hear them saying it now, like, but it's my body, my choice. Dear, absolutely. You are 100% right. It's your body, your choice. And I will never, ever. No, I'm not going against that. However, you need to realize as a sentient being with responsibility that you're going on a date.
What was that word you just said? Started with an R, it sounded like. What was that?
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, the funny word, the responsible.
Say it again.
Responsible.
Okay, responsible. That's a new word. I'm going to look that up.
You thought of it. You do that? You want a Dutch translation of that too? German?
What is it?
I don't even know the German one. The Dutch one is verantwoordelijk.
Good Christ. What's the, I guess, Latin base for that? What is it? Is it that sounds more like a phrase than a word.
No idea. I just know the Dutch. I just work in the Netherlands, man. Don't give me Latin.
It is not so much. It's the hypocrisy, I guess, is the other thing, especially where you're getting to the point where you're in your skivvies or you're naked in your guy's bed. Oh, no, I just don't want to have sex. Where it's like, okay, now you have strung along a man and led him along. And then this, okay, yeah, your body, your choice, but then don't, what's the word? Taunt, dangle the carrot, taunting, that's cruel. That's cruel.
Mm-hmm.
That's mean. That's malicious. It's evil. And so don't be surprised. And ladies, look, just so you know, all right, you may not do this. Your girlfriends may not do this, but enough of you have that guys are, you'll wonder why can't a man take us out on a date like they did in the Andy Griffith show? Why is Jack Napier taking me to Aldi's for the El Crapo free coffee in the styrofoam cup? Well, enough of that happens. This isn't a skit. This isn't like we made it up or we had misremembering things or we woke up out of the Matrix and we're remembering the Matrix and not real life. This shit happens. Mm-hmm. And to enough volume that's kind of
I mean, they put that on themselves. And what was I just about to say? I can't even remember. Maybe it'll come up later on. But yeah, I just thought of, I like coffee. I even like going on dates. In all honesty,
dating was fun. If they showed up, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, and didn't have diarrhea all of a sudden. I mean,
what?
I told you that story as well. You seriously?
No, I don't remember. Wait, are you sure you're not confusing me with like Vince or TJ?
No, I talk to you more often than them.
So you went on a date and you got diarrhea or the girl got diarrhea?
No, I went on a date with a French girl in Groningen and we got the coffee. We sat down and within like 15 minutes of drinking our coffee, she's like, well, I have to go home really bad. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, I took a laxative before we got here because I felt bloated. And I just looked at her and I'm like, go. Go. She wanted to give me a hug. I just told her, no, go.
Oh my God.
You can go. You know what I did?
Hang on. Now, maybe it's newer times because you're so much younger than me, but did you ever I got to wash my hair or my girlfriend just broke up with her boyfriend and really needs me? You get any of those lame, there's a family crisis. Any of these lame ones that were.
The last time I got that was with my ex, my last LTR. She was supposed to come by, and all of a sudden, a friend of hers who I had never heard of died so she couldn't make it. And that's when I knew shit hit the fan. I'm like, I'm on my way. You're not coming over. I'm like, oh, I know what this is. Okay. I know what this is. I know what this is. Yeah. But with that French girl, you know what I did?
You just let her go.
Yeah, I let her go. But after that, you know what I did? It was a very sunny day and I enjoyed.
There you go.
That's what I did.
There you go.
I enjoyed it.
I remember, just so you guys know, and this is where, there's a lot of guff given them for like Donovan Sharp or Modern Life John. They got these dating courses, I guess, not seminars, on their teachable accounts or whatever else like that. And for us veteran seasoned people, we know it's one-on-one. Like, well, why would you do that? There are so many boys out there who are younger, who do not have this, where it's like, yeah, there's demand for it. All right. You got to understand how narrow a sliver we are here in this little sphere of the internet, and how many more young boys and girls need to be unplugged from the matrix. But the womanese, like I would say, like Donovan Shepard style, I got this, how to speak womanese. I'm like, really? That kind of sounds sticky. Well, hundreds of guys sign up, and then it's stuff like this, where it's like, oh, someone died. No one died.
No one.
Nobody died. Oh, my girlfriend no. And it's kind of like you do really need to translate these so you don't think poorly upon yourself. Like one time I was dating this gal. We weren't boyfriend, girlfriend, but we were dating. And everything was going wonderful. Everything was going fine. And then I remember we're in a movie theater. I'm just sitting there waiting for the movie. And I just in my song, raindrops keep falling on my head. Just perfectly content, perfectly calm. She's like, you really got to get your anger in control. I'm like, what? What? I mean, I'm like, is there someone next to me that I said, what do you mean? Well, you got that Irish temper. I'm like, what are you talking about? Now I'm getting angry, just poking at you like, now I am starting to get angry. Well, you just, I think we should just start seeing other people because, I'm just not sure it's that. And I said, oh, now if I was any younger or less experienced, I would have thought, oh my God, I have anger issues. I got to go see a therapist. And you boys, go take Donovan Sharp's class if you have to. But you boys have got to understand what women are really saying, because otherwise, if you take it at face value, you have now misinformation, and everything you're going to try is going to fail, or worse, make it worse for you. Because now it's like, oh my God, I'm a violent, angry person, when you're not. Or, oh my God, she's, and then if you were younger or stupider, oh, a family member died. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go get a car. Like you're a nice guy or something. Oh, are you okay? No, you're just wasting your time. And so, yeah, I have no problem. But yeah, that's something you boys have got to learn, that no matter what, if she's not showing up for the date, whatever the excuse was before that is a lie. She never wanted to go out with you in the first place. She did not have the balls to be a real man and man up and tell you, I don't want to go out with you. That's,
But the sexes are equal, right?
The sexes are equal. And I know I'm being deadly serious about the sexes are equal. You know why? Because I insist on treating women as equals. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You want to pay taxes, lady? You want to? Okay, here's some truth bombs. And no, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you.
No. What I found out today? You want some good news?
Yeah, I love good news. Sure.
In the Netherlands, we still have the draft. I mean, quotation marks. But
why? Why?
I mean, it's not even the real draft. You know that.
Just go underground, teach sabotage and subversion tactics. You guys are going to stand up. Okay,
no, I mean, you Americans pay all our military. Right. I mean, seriously though, and I respect you for that, absolutely. But apparently, girls get drafted as well. I found out today. They actually made that equal.
Good.
And you should have read the article. I posted it on Twitter, but there's no translation for it. But it's like some shit-eating grin, smile on his face. Reporter wrote that. Well, in the name of equality, we made the draft for women as well. I just read that. I'm like, oh my God.
Good. Look. I don't care what society chooses, because I'm not society. I'm one participant in society. If society chooses X, I have to abide by X, because that's what society, those are the rules. We're going to choose Y. Whether you choose traditionalism or equality, I'm fine with either. But once we choose, and it's the official statement, by God, I'm treating everybody according to those rules. And God, well, of course, let's say I were to go date again. You think I'm paying for a date?
No.
You think I'm picking a girl up, getting a reservation, like all this shit? It is going to be the Aldi's coffee. It's going to be, well, let's meet for coffee. I'm going to get there, have my coffee, right? And it wouldn't even be going to the coffee. It's like, let's meet online first. Let's make sure I don't waste an hour and a half of my time. It's like, no, it's going to be equal. You know, it's and the positives of that is I'd hire women equally. You know, a lot of the contractors I've hired have been women because all my editors are women because frankly they make better editors. They're better accountants, I think too. But
I don't know about the numbers thing, but I do know they're better at language, way better.
Yeah, every group of persons out there, male, female, different race, they have different aptitudes, strengths, and weaknesses. You know, but in terms of general treatment of no matter who's walking down the street, how do I treat that person? You are equal. Guy is in a fight, right? He's in a fist fight. Am I going to intervene?
Nope.
No, I know who started. I know who the good guy is. Girl is fighting a guy. You think I'm going to intervene?
Oh, that's a trick question you asked.
No, it's not a trick question.
You would want to. Let me phrase it like that. You would want to, but for the sake of equality, you won't.
Nope. I don't even want to. What's been I see a man fighting a wiener dog. Who am I going to go fight for?
The wiener dog, of course.
The wiener dog, right. Aside from the fact that Smollett's outmatched. But no. I'm sorry, ladies. My experiences with you have been poor. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. I wish I could. If I see it, I was like, I don't know what that is. And equality, and I'm done. And goodbye.
Yeah. What was her name again?
What was the what?
Again? The wiener dog, her name.
Louise.
I love that article. We have lost the greatest woman in the world, something like that.
Louise was the most wonderful woman in the world.
You build that one up so nicely. I let my main plate, I gave that to her. Like, look at Erin being so nice to this woman. And she read that and she ended it. She looked at me like,
did I tell you? I got at the time I was teaching college, economics or stats. I couldn't remember which. But anyway, so I was 27. I was your age, maybe a little younger, and a good looking young guy. Oh, yeah. And a couple gals crushed on me, or at least were like, well, who's he? And what's it? All right. Hey, pay attention to the statistics on the board. So I had like a particularly sharp suit on one time. And they're like, whoa, look at that. I say, yeah, I got a date later on today, tonight. I don't have time. You have a girlfriend? And I didn't want to I really didn't have a girlfriend, I had a date, but I said, yeah, I got a girlfriend. What's she like? I say, well, maybe, I'll introduce you to her sometime or something like that. They're like, really? Like, what's she? I said, well, she's short, got beautiful brown eyes, and she's a little overweight, but I love her anyway. She's the most one. She loves me to death and doesn't judge. And so one time the dog was in town. My mom brought the dog to town, and I said, well, a girlfriend's showing up. Bet you guys want to. So every girl and a couple guys shows up. I'm like, yeah, this is my girlfriend. They're like, oh, yeah, that's how to go. And they just turned around and disgusted and walked away. I'm like, what? She loves me. She's licking my face and everything.
Oh, God, a man and his dog. I do want to add to all of this, though, because we've been giving the women some shite. But I have some female agents in the field who are sending me male dating profiles.
Yes.
It's bad. It's bad, man. The self-deprecating.
Go on. I have data to support this as well.
Well, they're self-deprecating. There it is. Guys. They're like, old pictures, I'm uglier now with more receding hairline. And she sent me that. She's like, what guy would send them to himself? Or say that to himself about himself? I'm like, honey, I don't know. And she's like, there are multiple guys like this. They are talking themselves down. Like,
do you know why?
Because they think women would like them more.
Self-deprecating humor, and that's what they're trying to go for, is easier than going to the gym. That's what it boils down to. I had 4 gals live one-on-one paying me $200 a pop. I don't know why. I thought something happened, like Vogue linked to me or something like that. These gals generally all had the same question. How do I find a traditional guy? Most wanted to have kids. And it was kind of universal general advice but the dating profiles and the stories they were telling me about, it's horrific. I mean, again, we do slam on the gals because they need a lot but that's because it's just shoved in our face how wonderful and amazing and empowering and brave you all are. It's like, shut the fuck up. But these guys, you need to up your fucking game. And at basic 101, we slam on women for being fat. Guys, you need to go to the gym. You need to be physically attractive. And I have a buddy of mine who's single. She went on a date with this guy, and this guy so he's nervous. He's just nervous. And he's like saying something. She's like, it's weird. He's not like just talking. It's weird, the cadence and his tone and speed. He says, wait, I screwed that up. It's not how I rehearsed it. It's like, you rehearsed an entire date? Like this woman is a robot or a finite variable, and it's just a matter of playing Pong and bouncing the ball up back to your house? The men are so misinformed, untrained, propagandized and lied to. Now, at the hands of women's own desire of, let's have a bunch of touchy-feely leftist, insensitive feminist men. Okay, there you go, ladies. But ultimately, yeah, it's not what they want. No, and it is shocking how poor quality there are men out there for women.
Mm-hmm. I mean, mostly just gym-wise, it's horrible. Like, guys, come on. Some guys up here in the Netherlands have bigger tits than the girls. It's insane.
Are people fat over in where are you, Holland?
Yeah, Netherlands. Holland is a province. One day I'll show you everything.
I looked it up one time, and it's all these little countries like Belgium and Holland and the Netherlands, and then Denmark. The only reason I know Denmark is because it juts out into the peninsula.
Mm-hmm. And it has Legoland. I've never been.
Yeah.
One day I will. But I looked this up, and apparently the average Dutch woman is 10 centimeters smaller than I am, yet just as or heavier.
10 centimeters smaller than you are?
Shorter.
Shorter.
Yeah, my bad.
Shorter, but how many pounds heavier?
Just as heavy, and or maybe pound or two heavier. And I mean, that is just demotivating, man. Like, where is it? Hold on. Give it to me. Like, here. Why did I buy this, Cappy? Why did I buy a Nintendo Switch?
You can play Zelda.
Well, that too, and Mario, things like that.
I don't know. You can play video games with it. That's what I bought mine for.
Indeed. Yeah. Because it's so demotivating out there. Like, what else am I about to do with my time? I'm not going to get married. I mean, dating materials, and I'm there that much. You know what? Just play video games. I started the Gulag Archipelago. Great book. Okay, very depressing. Good. But, I mean, it's all up to you right now, which is kind of liberating too. I mean, the bachelor life is very liberating.
Nothing. Ladies either get physically attractive or they don't. And that's out of our control. And I'm done yelling at the moon, pissing into hurricanes, wrestling with tornadoes, trying to say something that's common sense, because you know why it is pissing into a hurricane or yelling at a tornado.
Because they won't listen.
They know what men want. They know what it's not a mystery. Not hundreds of thousands of movies and porn here. They know. They choose not to. They are so deluded as a group. They really think they're going to get men to like fat chicks. And when it gets to that point, you're not. What did we talk about? What's part of the another superior race of humans?
The 1099 super race.
It's the 1099, but we also said there's another group of
the
intellectually honest humans. Right? Mm-hmm. When I could go to a girl, I say, "You need to lose weight." She says, "Yeah, I do." And not or, and they go to the gym and they diet. That's an intellectually honest woman. But for these gals, like the epitome of hypocrisy are the fat, large, sassy, in-your-face black women who will spend thousands on nails and weaves and that, but won't go to the fucking gym. And it's like, okay, you are intellectually dishonest. And then you're so intellectually dishonest to the point it's a fault, to the point it's evil. You will yell at men for daring to like thin chick. I am done pissing into the hurricane. Piss into the hurricane no more. Mm-hmm. I retire. And I'm not even going to get worked up. And so I understand now your point. Yeah. Get lost on Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Part 2 still isn't released. Damn it.
I bought Halo 5 for the Xbox.
Nice.
It's all
I'm
right.
not much into shooters, but it is nice though. It
It's
is nice.
mindless.
I bought the Mario 3D All-Star package. You have Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario
Smash Bros.
Galaxy, all three in one.
Okay. All right.
Which is
Maybe I'll
neat.
get the play.
Hmm.
All right. Well, we're not going to waste our time with women anymore because I truly am tired. No, I am. I'm kind of tired of always like it. We've solved it.
Yeah, but
The Whopper computer. It's the solution is not to play. We've won there. Okay, move on.
If I might ask, how does the does the GF see these things as well?
Oh, she understands. She's more traditional, and then keep in mind we're old too. I mean, a lot of this is, I'm the old coach. My days are over. My days were in the 90s and the aughts. I'm retired, but it's not that I don't have the wisdom. And so I look at it more through economist eyes. I'm like, what? Or philosophers' eyes, even like, no, the emperor has no clothes. No one likes fat chicks. Okay. That's more so it doesn't really apply. She's successful. She makes her own money. She carries her own weight. I'm sure there's some things she doesn't like. Like no woman likes it. It's like, yeah, stay thin or I'll find something else. You do X, Y, and Z, and these are natural things within the female psychology. Nagging is natural. They don't know they're doing it. You have to be on them like shit on flies. Like, stop. Remember when I had a house at 27 or whatever, and I fed myself, and there wasn't shit in my pants, and the house is okay? I'll do it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be, but that's just the sexes. That's not.
I mean, you need, as a guy, you need to be able to just, and she.
Yeah,
does
no, but I'd like to not get to the. I'd like to just please, just not now. It's just like, I got shit going on. What do you want for dinner? I don't care. Well, how about, I just said, I don't care. Yeah, female mind, that's not the answer they wanted. They'll keep hounding you. No, well, here's the English translation. I am busy doing something right now that is more important to me than what I put in my face 15 minutes from now. So please unburden me with this unnecessary question and make the choice yourself. That's what it is. Then there are hurt feelings because you're not participating in the process. And well, all I wanted, and you're like, oh, and now I know why men have their study. I already knew why men had their study dens, but now I know why men have their dens. And I know why men have the office. It's just so you could get, that's your work. And then, but no, she's traditional. She understands, like, yeah, she wants masculine men. She's thankful I make okay money. She's thankful I'm fiscally responsible and frugal. I'm sure she would like me to be nicer, but you know what would happen if I was nicer? Then it'd be a pushover, and then it's just so.
That is that is shit testing 101. Be nicer. Never.
No, it's not even an issue of nice. It's not a moral question for me. It's like, I have to make money and survive in this world. And this is the personality and my decisions that has resulted. And it's basically the women have a choice of either support your man to help him be successful and you be, or be a liability and drag him down from everything from petty questions to questioning his decisions on very important things. And not in a constructive way, but like the emotions and things like that. I've seen it happen to people older than me, where it's like, wow, like that is not a team player. That is just a cancerous mole on your back. That is a monkey. I put a bullet in my head. Fuck that. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds dark, but I don't know. Like, Dre asked you too, what is your biggest fear? I don't know if he asked you that too. He mostly does that. When he asks you something, he asks me something for a video response. The only thing I could think of was be in a relationship with someone of my own accord. You know what I mean? Like, you agreed upon this, and now you are actually violating. Well, you're in your own prison. That's what I fear the most, because I had that. One of my first girlfriends did the exact same thing you just mentioned. Like, oh, well, you have this and that with your personality. Maybe you should go back to therapy, because I went to therapy because of all what happened. I mean,
Sure.
well,
Yeah.
really,
Legitimate reasons. Yeah.
very legitimate reasons. And she used that against me. Like, oh, it's showing up again, that personality trait. Maybe you should go back. And me believing it, I actually called and was like,
the womanese. You think it's a dumb idea, but would you have paid, I think he charges 500, 600 bucks. Would you have paid 500, 600 bucks to have the womanese class before your girlfriend told you that?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. It's worth it, guys. I mean, John, too. I mean, not everybody resonates with John, but he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. And not the vast majority of my listenership don't need it here. We're talking very young men who are being newly introduced. So we have
yeah. Like, before you do anything after high school, read Worthless, #1, buy the Womanese or the Body Language Mastery or whatever is out there, but trust these guys and read The Rational Mill. You'll be set for life.
You'll be set. Well, let's get through some super chats so I don't fall too far behind. Plus, I have articles I'd like to do. Jared Pugh for $5. How good is 26,000 at 24 no debt BA in accounting? That's awesome. That's awesome for 34. You are like in the top. Well, take the trust fund kids out of it, but you're in the top 1%. Easy. Easy top 1%. Busako man for €229. Mr. Celery, this is better than therapy. Cheers. Yeah, it is. Podcasts are therapy, guys. It is. It is therapy. It's there's no doubt about it. Wow, $20 from Joe AM, who's new. I've never seen Joe AM. Keep doing these videos, Cappy. Lots of great insight and analysis. Tall guys like me appreciate the content as well. You're 6 foot, right? You're Mr. 3 meters. Okay. I really like you. Did I ever tell you that? The gals, there's like this segment of gals that would like begrudgingly like say they couldn't date me anymore.
No.
Like if a girl doesn't want to date you, they leave, right?
Yeah.
Or they just stop calling. Or you have anger issues or some bullshit like, but there's like this cadre, a group of gals who are like, I really like you. I'm like, oh yeah, but things I don't think are going to work out. And there's always some amorphous reason. I mean, maybe it was intellectually dishonest, but then I say, well, just say you want to date a taller guy. Just say it, because I was the fun short guy, and I said, have fun with your tall, boring guy. See, Joe stole all those women from me. Joe took them all away from me.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Al, for $2, are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see. Don't.
That's got to be for me. It's got to be for me.
It's got to be for you. Yes. Are they even lines anymore?
There's one I like to use.
No.
That is when, if I'm ever out, I happen to be out every once in a blue moon, maybe when the stars align properly, and I see a girl looking at me the entire time, but she doesn't do anything. I like to walk up and just say blatantly, are you going to look at me all night or buy me a drink? That's the only one I have. And from there it goes.
There's some good lines, like Troy Francis had one. I was like, ooh, that's a good one. He walked up to a girl. I mean, obviously it depends on the scenario. He walked up to a girl and he was like, I'm sorry, but I just fell in love with you a little bit over there a bit ago. I like that. That was clever. Just a little bit, And
I've seen that one. That's a great one. Like, excuse me. I just wanted to say I just instantly fell in love with you. And then that accent, that real thick London accent.
Fuck Troy Francis with his accent. Okay, now let's adjust here. I mean, that's like playing video games on God mode. If you got your British,
American girls love my accent. I don't even know what it sounds like, but it's like, oh, that's different.
It's British-ish. Yeah, because you were probably taught by British people, right? It's right across the channel.
I was raised with The Simpsons. And this came out. Really?
And that came out.
This came out.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, you got that accent. And, any guy with an accent is someone you should sleep with.
Yes.
Fuck those American guys, right? Yeah. He's got an accent. Did I tell you the study I did about, so this was when the big conserva thought, trad thought thing was going on. And I did the numbers. And I think women who say the exact same shit I or philosophers said years ago, hundreds of years ago, in case of some philosophers, they got like a bonus of 500% more subscribers. So if you're just a good looking gal and you say the same shit that a guy said about politics or guns or anything conservative, you would get 5 times the subscribership. Do you know what it was with a British accent? For men, like if you take a guy and he's just a dopey, dumb American like me, but then you compare me now, admittedly, Stefan Molyneux is huge, but you compare me to a Stefan. Oh, hello. Yes.
Hello. How's your mother?
How's your mother?
I don't know.
Non-aggression principle. Do you know what a ratio they get?
600% more?
30 to 1.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, obviously, there's bias in there because you throw in some big wigs like Molyneux and all that. But I think if you back Molyneux out, it's still 10 to 1. So the British accent will help you more than if you're a girl with big tits.
Then why is my channel only 1,500?
Because you yourself suck. That's why. You're horrible at what you do. You're kind of funny looking. I can smell you from here. You're just in general very bad.
Seriously, from that height?
No,
you can tell me?
No. You're new.
Dare to hold women accountable? How
don't
dare
you have hang on. Don't you have 1,000 subscribers? Don't you have a monetized channel?
Yeah, of course I have.
Okay, dude, you're in the top, I think, 20% then.
I know. I know. I was kidding.
Well, I didn't know if you actually like, well, am I not doing so well? Like,
some things I do wonder, like some MGTOW channels, like out of nothing, 30,000, 40,000. I'm like,
well,
how did that happen?
Me and DT were talking about it, and he tuned into Rolls in my conversation on minimalism. And he said, I got halfway through it before I had to turn it off. And why do you think I had to turn it off? I don't know. And I'm like, because he started talking about how it related to the red pill and hypercamia. He's like, yes. All you guys do is talk about girls. That's it. I said, well, it's not my show. I was his guest. He was the one asking the questions. He's like, why can't you talk about finance or this and that? And I said, look, here's the deal. This is the reason why. No one gives a damn about minimalism. Okay. Donovan Sharp will get, now he's got a bigger audience, of course. He will get hundreds of people to sign up for his class. Why? Because it gets the girls. All right. I could do a class on minimalism, solving poverty, adequate retirement, frugality, health, whatever else. And it'll get crickets chirping. Yeah, I got some people to sign up for it, but that's not what guys want. Guys are driven first and foremost. The only reason we have technology or the buildings outside or planes, trains, and automobiles because men want to get laid. And that's pretty much the only thing. So if I do a seminar on minimalism, okay, I'll get 5 or 6 people a month. If I do a seminar on minimalism and tits, holy shit, then, then.
We could have been on Mars, but no, we improved fake tit technology. You don't even see the scars anymore.
Mars or big tits. I know which one I'm voting for.
Oh yeah, me too, man. No, but seriously though, the technology has improved significantly.
Oh, I'm no doubt about it. I'm just saying the reason. You and Rob were having we had this conversation where it's like, Rob and me, maybe you're younger, but I don't want to be talking about girls. I don't want to be talking about girls now. This is just what we talk about. And I'd like to move on to other things someday. I'm going to be talking about guys because I'm going to be doing Operation Evil here pretty soon.
Yeah, when is that coming?
It's starting next year. I got to finish analyzing the ROI of the pursuit of women. My actuary is finalizing the numbers as we speak. I got the first chapter written, and then it's just going to be boom, boom, boom. In theory, it'll be out by late November in time for Christmas. And I am even getting an Airbnb out in Wisconsin to write for an entire week and to escape from everyone and everything and just get my shit done.
And like lightning will cold now from the sky and evil laughter as you type away Operation Evil.
No. This isn't Operation Evil. This is analyzing the ROI of the pursuit of
okay,
women.
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
There might be an argument that I do analyzing the ROI of the pursuit of men if more and more women start asking questions because that would indicate to me there's demand for it. But I'll maybe leave that up to another woman. Plus, it's not analyzing the ROI of the pursuit of men. That's wrong. So I'll let somebody do that, but then I'll come in and do it the right way because there's something wrong with that. But I will that's neither here nor there. But yeah, then it's going to be on to something different, something intellectually stimulating. But yeah, I prefer it that, how do I get the girls? How many times we got to say, hit the gym, make more money. I got the data. So this might be like the final cap piece, the trophy piece of my contributions to the Red Pill community. I got some other ones that I might write down the road, and certainly will, it's not going to I'm going to change or anything. But I think this would be and then I'm moving on to Operation Evil, where there's other different things I'm going to do for intellectual interest. But I will let some key people know.
That's going to be fun.
I think it will be. Competent Man, $5 at Jack Napier. Do not go to therapy. You never get out. P.S. Did you tell her to F off?
Okay, well, I do tend to agree with him to a certain degree. I mean, I had to go to therapy. I mean, let's be honest. When you grow up,
serious, real issues. Yes.
I mean, when you grow up with an alcoholic, that's got to be worked on. And back then, did I tell her to F off? Well, the worst part was I didn't know better. I thought she was right and knew more about me than I did, because I thought to myself, well, I've been to therapy once, so maybe I'm unaware of it. Luckily, my therapist wasn't an asshole. And it was a she, by the way. Ooh, surprise. And she told me, who told you this? I'm like, well, my girlfriend is noticing things. Yeah, but she's not an expert. So...
I'd say therapists aren't experts either, but
yeah, but okay.
Continue on. All right.
And she told me, like, no, we're not going to do this. I think your girlfriend has other issues, which later on turned out to be true as well. So, but I mean, you have Facebook, you know what I'm going to say. 10 years later, you see a picture and you're like, meh, good on me.
All right.
You see the boyfriend. Ooh.
The Competent Man again for $2. Jack Napier, get Bella Thorne on your channel.
How?
You're not supposed to. She wouldn't even give you the time of the day.
Oh, I think she would, but I mean...
Well, go ahead. All right, fine. I'll give you $10 bet. If you get Bella Thorne on your channel, I'll give you $10. All right, I'll donate you $10.
$10. Yeah. I'll see what I can do.
What did you hear about that gal who was the pastor? Which already is there's a big, and then she became a stripper or
yeah, she was married, 3 kids.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I
get her on the channel.
No, I mean, I talked to a friend of mine because I showed him the screenshot of the girl I told to F off with her. I don't do that anymore. New Year's resolution, and he asked me, he's like, can a girl like that redeem herself? I'm like, okay, you know what? I know what you're getting at. Maybe I'm too harsh, but you have to realize she blatantly, openly admitted to being a skank, which she followed with, I'm not putting out for you. And then he looked at me, he's like, oh, okay, now I understand. I'm like, yeah, of course somebody can be redeemed, but at least don't drag a guy along with it. Or first, you shut up. You don't say anything, because guys know these days, or at least I know. I mean, when I meet a girl of 21, I'm like, you probably have triple my notch count anyway, so who cares? And don't drag him along. Don't play this spiel of, I don't give it up
Jack, how are they supposed to get their attentions?
Well, not from me then.
But I know not from me, but intellectual honesty is a superior race, because very few people have it. And a gal, like, let's say she were to redeem herself, like, look, I had a very sordid, this would be in her dating profile, had a very sordid past in my life, I'm only looking for, or you know what? You just shut up about your past. And you don't say, well, yeah, I totally gave it up. It was the fun girl. I mean, one of the biggest torpedoes a woman can send into her own dating ship is to say, I'm done playing games and it's time to settle down. Fuck you. We wanted you when you were playing games and that's the fun part. That's the honeymoon. Hopefully that continues on till death do us part in marriage, potentially. But what I just... Oh, all the one thing you want from me more than anything else. Yeah, you don't get that now. It's like, hey, I'm trying to think of what that is. It's like, hey, let's go see a movie. Well, you get popcorn and a soda, but you don't get no movie. It's like, well, what the fuck am I going to the movies for then?
Yeah, but you paid for the movie. You're just not getting it.
Paid for it. And you gave that movie attention, and she got just a big syringe of attention stuck in an arm. We should have Rolo do he's real good at thumbnail generation. He should just do attention, have it on the elbow or on the syringe or something. Ladies, you could get attention if you were good quality. I'm not saying you got to be super wholesome, but just intellectually honest, nice, loving, supporting, caring, feminine women, and you will find a man who will give you all the attention you want.
Even if she has a high notch count, because I've met those girls. I've met former party girls. Great to hang around with. Absolute pleasure. They cook for you. They clean for you, whatever. She just had a past and she was open about it. It can still happen.
Yeah,
but
because she was what about it?
Intellectually honest.
Honest about, okay, all right, no.
Yeah. But if you're like the simpy guy, she's going to walk all over you and you get the, Rolo's article, Saving the Best?
No.
It's his darkest article, man.
Okay.
It's the guy who finds the old porn videos of his wife while he's been denied a blowjob.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that one's bad. Saving the Best is what it's called.
Saving the Best. James G for $2. Best paying government jobs for work from home or travel. I don't know. This is your jurisdiction there, Jack. But I mean, you work for the Danish government or the Swedish government, whatever.
Governmental enough job. If you want the best, you should become a project manager at the government. A friend of mine, his dad was a project manager there, and all of a sudden the project went over and the institution went job hunting for him, and in the meanwhile he just got paid his project manager salary. It's like, but okay, because I got feedback from that, because I was on Ryan's channel lately and there was a guy who said I lost respect for him because he has a government job. But I do get what he's coming from. Yet I want to argue, in the Netherlands you've got taxes up your ass. So why not work for the people who you have to pay taxes to get it back? I mean, that's my motivation. Like, oh, I have to pay these guys? Well, they're going to pay me. Be part of the system, yet not of it.
Right. I mean, a lot of Operation Evil is just like, yeah, you know what? I want some of that money you stole from me and voted away from me back.
Bingo.
And apparently you'll part with your money so easily that, now admittedly, I shouldn't have to work for this. It should be mine in the first place. But okay, you want to vote to help the children's and everybody else because you want my money to make you feel better? Good. Give me it back. Oh, by the way, here's some lines that'll destroy your life. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I mean, it sounds very leechy, but I'm like, no, they've leeched off me, so I'm just going to leech back. It's like quid pro quo.
Did society vote we're going to do X in the Netherlands?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to do X. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's go through some articles here. Hear about this boomer gal living in the bus and now is in debt. Did you hear? Yes. No.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I haven't seen Better Bachelor just because he is building his or Joker. He's building his bus up. But let us just enjoy the decline a little bit. Shall we enjoy the show?
Yes.
Do you like seeing leftist spinsters suffer their own stupidity, Jack?
Yes.
I do. Does everybody else? Let's enjoy the show.
It's the chocolate ice cream of enjoy the show.
Oh, this is the chocolate syrup and the cherries with the sprinkles on top of the ice cream of life. After living in a converted school bus for a year, a retiree is now $10,000 in debt and selling her schoolie. See, they call it a schoolie. Here's the one cost she didn't see coming. Now, Jack, do you think this woman is attractive and svelte and feminine looking?
No.
She is. She's fat. She looks like short hair. Surprise, surprise. She looks like a guy. She's about 2.5 bills. And she has that leftist look. I don't know how else to describe it, but she's got that leftist look. These are the bullet points. After living a year on the road in her converted school bus, retiree Carrie Galliou is selling her home on wheels. In just 1 year, Galliou said she had to replace just about every major part of the school bus, prompting her to sell her car and take out a loan. Jack, do buses require maintenance?
Yes.
Okay. She said she maxed out her credit cards, is now $10,000 worth of debt. Should Jack, if you're a boomer woman or a boomer anybody, should you be $10,000 in debt?
No.
Okay, well, just the financial burden put a toll on Goulot's mental $10,000 of debt. I mean, it's a lot, but
yeah.
Mental and emotional health. I don't know. It doesn't matter, lady, because you're fat, you're going to die of cardiac arrest, especially since she had to deal with the issues alone. See, Jack, if a woman who's retirement age and fat, it could be anybody, takes on debt, should she suffer those choices by herself?
You'd say she did? Yeah.
No, but should she?
Should she?
Yeah.
Well, if she made the choice herself, yeah.
No, because we need to support her as a community. But women are strong and independent, but she still needs the money. But we can't treat women unequally. But boy, she really does need the money. And boy, it's kind of sad. But strong, independent woman. Where do we go? What side do we fall on?
I think that's more of the left side. Maybe we should go even more over there.
Oh, Kelly Gallio was driving her converted school bus through Yellowstone National Park in Montana when the vehicle lost power. The retiree, who was in her 60s, was stranded on a 2-lane road in the middle of the national park. She had to wave the cars to go around. Oh, she convenience. Can you imagine how fun she is going on mountain passes, driving real slow in the right lane? And once she got the bus to turn on again, Gallagher said she was forced to sleep on the side of the road. It's not a lot of fun breaking down in public, she told Insider. I was like, well, what do I do now? It was the final straw. What do you mean what do you do when you break down? You got to get it towed.
Yeah, fix it. Always have something with you in case of emergency, like tools and things like that. But okay, you know what? Head bang wall. In
2019, okay, I'm going to have you do math here, Jack. Gallio retired from her job in the medical field, and she decided she wanted to travel around the country. She spent $45,000. Let's start here. Stop here. How long do you think you could travel along the country for $45,000?
In all honesty, me? That easily a year.
Try like 5 years. 45 grand, like in travel expenses, assuming you'd have like retirement money coming in. She spent this converting. So this was just to buy a vehicle. Okay. For 45 grand, that is lodging and travel expenses for at least 3 years in my book.
Yeah.
Converting a 1999. Okay, so it's 2019, Jack, and she bought a 1999 Freightliner. How many years old is this school bus?
20.
20. You think it might need some work?
Well, yeah, actually, yes.
Okay. Well, she converted it into a tiny house with the help of a builder. Oh, she didn't do it herself. Jack, did you know she didn't do it herself?
Oh, you just told me.
No,
I am absolutely shocked. Maybe she got Joker. Maybe he did it.
But in the past year while on the road, she said she slipped into $10,000 worth of debt after dealing with the surprise cost of tiny house living. Now she's giving up the schooly lifestyle and selling her tiny house on wheels because of the surprise financial surprise. 20-year-old big commercial vehicles have maintenance costs. Who knew? Do you think school bus is good fuel efficiency, Jack?
I don't think so, actually.
Gallio misunderstood there would be maintenance costs along the way.
It's funny how people think that like material will work everlasting. It's like, no, like even with shoes, it costs maintenance. You need, never.
She was told the school bus like hers was built to travel hundreds of thousands of miles over the course of its lifespan, yet she kept breaking down on the road. They said there would be work to be done on the bus, but I didn't realize I would be replacing all the major parts in the course of 1 year, she said. In the past year, she had to replace pretty much everything under the hood, including the engine control module, the clutch fan, the master brake cylinder, the ABS sensor, the shocks, and the brake pad. Do you think she maybe took it to a mechanic to take a look at this stuff first before buying it?
No.
Because the dream is more important than the reality. Why you sell lies? A 60-something-year-old woman should be wise enough to know better. But by God, fuck reality. It's what I want. They want their cake and to eat it too. This is why Operation Evil exists. When you're looking at paying $3,000 or $4,000 for a single item, that's pretty overwhelming, she said. Unfortunately, I didn't have $100,000 sitting in a bank account. Jack, I'm going to retire as a woman at 62. I'm going to live to 82. That is 20 years. Is $100,000 enough to retire?
Yes. 20 years?
With healthcare and everything? $100,000?
Okay.
No. $250,000 try. She didn't even have $100,000 sitting in the account. And she blew whatever she had, 45 grand, on how much you want to bet. Well, it's here's the proof. She didn't even take it to a mechanic. She just wanted to have her little house. All the money went into like, oh, let's look at the house and it's nice and pretty. And oh my goodness, I got my whatever chakra. Didn't look at the engine. Didn't look at the transmission. Didn't look at the suspension. Didn't look at the, probably didn't even kick the tires. So every time I went to a mechanic, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for this? Well, there was this thing called youth and beauty, but it's long gone. So she couldn't get a job during the pandemic. Galliu sold her car, took out a loan. She put the rest on the costs on credit cards, which are maxed out. Galliu says she still owes $10,000. When Galliu experienced one unforeseen cost of the movement, other tiny house owners who travel regularly have found that gas prices, the cost of towing a house, and paying for parking at campsites can get surprisingly expensive fast. Jack, do you ever get an RV if you want to travel the United States or Europe or wherever?
No.
It is much more expensive than just getting a car and getting hotels. It just became too much to do, she said. After a full year of breaking down all over the United States, Galliu said she is constantly nervous something else will break. Every time I drive, I get very, very anxious, she said. My stomach gets upset. The anxiety of wondering when things would break down became too much. However, Galliu said she was uniquely qualified to deal with these issues because she is used to handling problems on her own. Oh, yeah. I raised my kids on my own. Could you imagine there was no dad around?
I was just going to ask.
Oh, my God.
Where is her husband?
She said, you have to negotiate for childcare. Now I'm negotiating with mechanics. It's not that different. But she said not having a partner became difficult during her journey. Wow. Why? You are strong, independent, don't need no man, girl boss.
Fish bicycle,
trademark. It is hard doing it alone, she said. You don't have anyone to share your burden with. Yeah, I can't be a sponge or a liability to other people.
I mean, some people are just asking. You'd think that by 62 or 66, how old was she? 62?
60-some, they said mid-60s, so I'm going back a couple of years.
No better, and saved up more than at least 45,000.
It's hard doing it alone, she said. You don't have anyone to share your burden with. Everything is my responsibility. What was that? Is that word you said before? The R word?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's it. She used it.
And Jack, do you know, and sometimes that's really exhausting. Do you know that being responsible for your decisions is sometimes exhausting?
I know that very well.
In September, Galliu put her schoolie up for sale for $63,000. There's a good chance it'll all be good going forward, but I am emotionally and financially unable to continue to accept those risks, she said. She's now looking to purchase a trailer. God damn it, people. God fucking damn. Cappy, why do you charge so much money for a class on minimalism? Well, because it's cheaper than $100,000. That will require less maintenance while on the road, but she chooses to reframe her experience with her schoolie as a positive one. I don't look at this as any kind of failure. Oh, no, it's not failure at all. No, it's not, she said. I realized the dream I had. I've been on the road for a year, and I think that's pretty successful. Everything changes. It's the right time, and it's the right decision. I meant to do this the entire time.
Yeah, Mrs. Jack Sparrow, well done.
Okay.
You wanted to do this.
Yeah, I really want to go tons of load. You know, it is almost the exact same sounding thing where you talk to whoever it is. Oh, what'd you major in? You know, history. Oh, you know, great. You know, what are you doing? Well, I'm working as a janitor. How'd that degree work out for you? It's not all about the money, man. It's like, yeah, it is. Because you asked me to bail you out, you fucking idiot.
Insane.
Oh, Let's go to the super chats. We already got the Bella Thorne comment. There's James. James again for $5. I watch Economics Explained, and the richest zip codes are not New York or California, but instead DC, Maryland, and Virginia. How does one take advantage of the corruption in government? Well, you get a government job, like Jack said. I mean, look, here's one thing, James. I don't know if you happen to be minority or not, but if you are, absolutely play that card. Absolutely. And then as Turd Flinging Monkey always says, I think you absolutely should go and redesignate yourself as female on your birth certificate and your driver's license. Okay, I would absolutely do that. And then you play that game. The only thing I forewarn you about, as I do everybody who's like, well, I'm minority, maybe, is you are going into a mental insane asylum. Jack has the benefit of working from home. All right. You don't have to go into the den. But if you have to go and physically be at an office where, let's be honest, no real work is getting done, and it's then whatever your point and purpose of being there turns into politics, it's going to be a mental ward. So I don't know, how many times you're going to have to job hop to find that job where you do remote work. But yeah, if it says remote work, go for it. And yes, by God, James, you are a woman. Right? You are a woman.
Stunning, brave, independent woman.
No, he just has to I'm actually a woman, but I just identify as that. I'm not going to come to the office and do anything or disturb. It's just, you guys ask, I view myself as a woman. I just wanted to fill out that form correctly. So if anyone found out on my driver's license, oh, you put F, but why are you a male here? I just want to, not. DJ Aftershock for $5. You're not a good Minnesotan, don't you know? You got to work Cargill and pay for Jamal's reparations, don't you know? You got to pay for wifey's BMW, don't you know? I'm not a good Minnesotan. I was born here, but I am not a good Minnesotan. I'm never going to be called a Minnesotan. I was brought up in Wisconsin, which isn't that much better. Spencer for $4. Cappy Ties. Hey, yeah, where is Dre? Dre must be busy. He always did the Cappy Ties. But thank you, Spencer, for the $5. And Mike Control for $5. I watched Vice's Cannibal Warlords of Uganda. A place is only as good as the people that live there. We are devolving into a third world. Yep. This is why I'm looking to get out of the United States. Because 2 generations from now, dude, the millennials are going to be the responsible ones. Right? And you got Gen Zers, same path as millennials, even worse. I don't know what's coming afterwards. But you got boomers who don't know that school buses might require bus maintenance. Right? And then they're going to get trailers. All right, I'm out. The society getting too stupid. Right? And you all are going to become a second world. It will happen. This will be a second world country by the time I'm done with my life. And I'm not going to be here. At least I'm going to have a plan B to get out of here.
Did you know where that came from? First world, second world, and third world?
I thought it was just like a general classification, like this range of income, that range of income, like developing, industrial. No? How did that come about?
Apparently, it had something to do with the Cold War. The first worlds were the West. The second world were the Soviets. And the third world was meant of all the countries who stayed out of it. I learned that this week.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. Very interesting. First world, Western. Second world, not necessarily Eastern culture, but more the Soviet. Okay, and then the third world would be none of the above.
Yeah.
Okay, and it just happened to work out rich, kind of middle income, and destitute poverty. Interesting. I did not know it. I'm sure someone will say, "Oh, there's a racist origin to every." Yes, there's a racist origin to everything.
I identify as Latinx, so they're done.
Yeah. Juan, the Aztec patriarch. I love that. San Francisco is definitely third. Right. People are shitting in the streets. It is third world. This isn't funny. Haha. This isn't because I have an R in front of my name and vote against the D's. You have people shitting in your streets. You are a third world shithole. San Francisco.
I mean, you can say about Europe whatever you want about being a socialist shithole, but we don't have that.
No, you have mature people, albeit socialists. Yeah, they don't even have that necessarily in most Asian countries who have a lot less income per capita. But I don't care. I'm not the one with the needle in my arm taking a shit on a San Franciscan street. Speaking of San Francisco, Bay Area co-living startup fails, angering stranded tenants. I love seeing San Francisco suffer. I love this. After months of warning signs, Hub House, the co-living startup that attempted to monetize group living in San Francisco and other major cities, has announced its closure to the outrage of stranded tenants and unpaid property owners. The Los Altos company's business plan involved leasing large single-family homes, dividing the properties in 10 rooms or more, and subletting the rooms to young professionals at market rate prices for each space. Critics of the company said Hub House inflated the cost of living in already expensive cities and acted as a modern-day slumlord, claiming the company neglected to pay utility bills, canceled cleaning services, and even took double the monthly rent amounts for tenants' auto pay accounts. The company, founded in 2016 with $11 million in venture funding, was banking on the... So what, $11 million in funding to buy an apartment building in San Francisco? Was banking on the concept of shared living becoming the new normal. Look at how leftists just like lower and lower and lower the standards of living. Now you got to live like shared living spaces. You got traffic, you got shit in the street. Now you're living with randos. The startup site offers private rooms and beautiful furnished homes, adding, "We also fully furnish your common space area. No heavy lifting with us." Last week, tenants in San Francisco, LA, Washington, D.C., I'm happy all those people are suffering, and other cities received letters informing them that Hub House was in the process of liquidation and closure. Company blamed the pandemic of it on its... Yes, because people just don't need to live anywhere now that there's a pandemic. As it announced that there are no funds available to pay any amounts that may be owed to landlords, tenants, trade creditors, or contract. So they left everybody stuck out. They left everybody high in the wind. Some tenants, social media. I just wanted to hear the good news because I like it when dumb and evil people suffer.
Which is always good news. And you just have to wait.
If you live a lie, you will pay the price. And you know what? If you live the lie quietly and you don't lecture me or lord me over me maybe telling the truth, or you just live your lie, fine, suffer in silence. But when you go and vote against my personal best interests and you accuse me of criminal sins against society I have not committed, I have every right to see every one of you socialist fuckwits suffer. I love California traffic. You know why? Because it is I'm not in it. It's the scourge you leftist fuckwits pay for voting to pay for welfare people to breed more instead of paying for the fucking roads. I love you careerists that all got to flood the highway system at the same time, okay? Who all got to get progressive credentialism. Why? Because you're wasting your fucking life working. Do.
It's amazing. The only thing you have to do is just put your feet up. And I finally, or at least almost, reached that stage in its entirety. I have my slip-ups where I get angry, but most of the time it's just, go ahead.
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah. And you're 10 years ahead of me. You're 10 years ahead of me.
I keep wondering about that. Like, what is preventing you?
It's not, no, I've achieved it, but it's very hard. It's very hard, especially when your entire profession essentially was to analyze financial and economic risk and say, oh, we ought to do this and not that. And then not only get flack from your bosses and threaten to be fired, but then, oh, by the way, you're racist and sexist and you hate poor people along the way. Why? Because I don't want to lend money to people who aren't going to pay it back. It gets tight. So it's hard not to get, but now it's just, I'm getting there, Jack. I'm getting there. A lot of it helps that everything's online now. That I don't have to go to an office.
Well, yeah, that's pretty neat. But again, and I have a coworker who I debate with every now and then about these issues. And there came a certain point where I just flat out said, you know what? I don't trust the poor people because they're probably poor because of a very good reason. Yeah. Because I looked up the numbers, how much government is spending on welfare. I'm like, we keep giving them 60 billion a year on this. 60 billion.
Right.
And it doesn't work. So that tells me that they're not financially literate. So throwing more money at the problem will not help. This is because of poor decisions. Oh, we need to throw more money at education. 40 billion a year.
You asked the wrong question. Why does the country you live in that Germany invades on its way to France throw 60 billion a year at poor people, even though it has not solved poverty? Why do they do that?
Votes.
Votes, yes, but why do people vote for that?
Because they're lazy.
Nope, because they want to feel good. That's the most expensive luxury good every modern Western society has. Is I vote to give other people other people's money so I can feel good. That's what it is. That's they don't care about the poor, because if you cared about the poor, you get them unaddicted to government checks. You would not do this to them. You would cut it off, or you'd phase it out. You can't just cut it off. You have to treat it like a drug. It's never been about the poor. You think the social workers give a shit about the poor or the children? No. They want to feel good for themselves, and as a social worker, make money off of the poor. That's all that is. That's all that is. Never assume that they're trying to do it for good. They're never doing it for good. They're doing it for themselves.
Absolutely. But the thing is with that coworker, I mean, do you think he goes to the gym?
No, of course, no, I know.
I mean, so you know what? You know what? He's right. He's absolutely right. Give more money to the poor and education. Do it. Right. Go ahead.
I'm glad I only got about 30 years left. Only about 30 years left. Swallow Blue for $5. Sup? Managed to catch some of the stream while I work. Good. You missed the really shitty middle part where we're having technical difficulties and everything was a shit show. Journey Trials Enjoy $5. Do you agree that if a person makes life easy, their life will be harder? That if a person makes life easy, their life will be harder.
Yes.
Why is this not taught to the youth? If people try to... Making life easy means you work hard early on and then have your investments pay you down the road and save you a net amount of time. That's making your life easy. If you say trying to live the easy life will make their life hard, yes, because you're denying the reality that life requires a certain amount of work, that if you avoid, it only exponentially grows. And especially if you're an idiot and take out $120,000 of interest accruing debt to get a worthless piece of paper. Yes, you're doing the easy life, which only makes things harder. Absolutely. But that's not taught in the youth because teachers, they themselves don't know that. But no one wants to be the bad guy. No one wants to tell the truth. No one wants to be the dick. You ever see, it's a bad movie. I think it was Good Will Hunting.
I did.
And the guy's in medical school, or was it the Robin Williams ones with Philip Seymour Hoffman? Yeah, it's Patch Adams. Patch Adams. Great scene where Robin Williams, who's just a natural at med school, and he's funny and zany and everybody loves him. And he goes up to Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's like the serious straight-laced doctor. And Philip Seymour Hoffman is always like ignoring him and dissing him. And inevitably Robin Williams has enough of it. He says, "What is your problem? Why do you hate me?" And Philip Seymour Hoffman looks at him and says, "You know what? You think life is a joke. You think this medical school something is funny. Ha, 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 ho, 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 ho. But you see, we are talking about saving lives. And the day is going to come, there will be somebody on my table where instead of effing around like you, I spent that extra minute paying attention. Some note, some footnote within the book will he says, will provide me the critical information at that critical point in time, and I will save a life, whereas you will die. So yeah, I want the dick. I want the asshole because I want to live, and so that is not, that guy's the bad guy. He's not fun because no one wants to hear, because he's a prick. He's a douche. And no one has the balls, especially within the teaching community, especially modern day parents, to tell that to their children. Because let's just be honest, nobody loves their children. They just had them because of an orgasm and to pass on their genetics. Right? And to actually raise your kids in the real world and tell them harsh truths is hard. And you never want a kid for hardship. You want a kid because of you. And so that's why the teachers don't teach them. That's why your parents don't teach them. And that's why these kids are damned to become millennials and live incredibly horrible, difficult lives.
I've said it once and I will say it again. You and I and many others in this sphere care more about the children they never had than most people do about the children they did.
I care. You know why? Because the hurdle is that high to jump over. All you have to do is care a little bit. Already you care more. Yeah. I mean, the moms and dads will let you're a failed parent if you let your kid major in the liberal arts. You are a failed parent. I care more about your kids than you. Oh, you may love them because of genetic and emotional and biochemical reasons, but I care about your kids more than you because you don't care about your kids at all. It's hard. Oh, I might have to spank my children. Oh.
Not only that, and I mean, I have to give my dad credit for that because he has dropped it sometimes, like go into IT, but never like sat me down, go to IT because ABC. Was more like,
Right.
go to IT while I did my part. Kind of like that, but
Yeah,
no.
no, those are called present but absent fathers.
Yeah, kind of like
You know,
that.
like,
But
because I'm sure maybe somewhere along the lines I was given some words of wisdom, but I had already tuned out because my early years in school was such a fucking shit show. It's like, why the fuck would I listen to you people?
yeah, like that meme you shared a while back. Like, dad, not now. Dad, not now.
Oh
Dad, not
yeah,
now. Son, not now.
not
Like,
now. Yeah, no, most parents are non-participatory. Now, admittedly, sometimes a family is broken up through divorce, and some parents may not have access to the kids. So I'll grant you that. But there was never I've never seen it where the father sits the kids down. We're going to have weekly lessons about economics and finance and budgeting. And now I see it in some friends of mine, and they're growing up their kids. But it was never like, look, this is very clear. Here's the reason why. You got to do the X, Y, and Z. You got to get your ass into the military. And in part because most people believe any degree was a good degree. So everyone's going to go to college. But yeah, but today I'd say it's different now. I'm sure some of the boomers did the best they could with the information they had. But now I'm seeing these parents, fuck Gen X parents. They're shit. They don't spank their kids. They don't discipline. They don't do anything hard. It's disgusting. And so I we care more about your kids. We do.
yeah.
Like, for example, do I hate women when I tell women, hey, be thin?
No.
Why?
Because you want them to be happy.
Right. Now, maybe, and ladies, email me anytime. You just tell me anytime. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe women don't want a man. Maybe women don't want a physically attractive, good-looking guy. Maybe they don't want Henry Cavill, who's almost as good-looking as me. Okay?
Almost.
But, and girls, you can tell me anytime, well, we don't want good-looking men. We don't want to have a husband that'll rock our world in bed. All right, fine. I will stop telling you to be thin. I will stop telling you to be feminine. But I'm going to guess you do want a Henry Cavill. I'm going to guess you do want some guy that you're physically attracted to. And if that is key and critical to your happiness and success, you need to be thin, feminine, supporting all that other stuff that nobody likes to hear, right? That means I care more about women, just this much more, than the average parent or media mogul or politician or teacher, because they're lying to you. And lying is not love. Yeah. Lying is destructive.
Absolutely. I would have just liked it a bit more where parents would say, if you choose a significant other, look at her family as well.
They didn't know that. They didn't know that at the time. Keep in mind when they were in their 30s or 40s. They didn't know that themselves. They didn't have the internet either.
No.
I mean, maybe somewhere the time passed wisdom, but no, they didn't have that information. Keep in mind, you're the age your dad probably had you.
Yeah, something like that. He was
right. Can you imagine?
I believe.
Do you feel prepared to support a family now, Jack?
Knowledge-wise, yes. All the other things, it's like, nah.
No.
Everything.
Oh, wait, I skipped ahead. We already answered that one. James G. Oh, I lost it. James G for $2. Goal is to get the country club money from the left. Yes, that is true. We want to get that.
Hey, do you now know how to mod somebody?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Be kind to John. Or are we still playing that game where we ignore him?
All right. Boom. Journey Trials Enjoy for $5. I have said that this since January, that the virus will be an excuse used by corrupt people to seize power. How likely will we ever get back to normal? I think we'll get back to normal. I don't think this is a grab for power, frankly. People are using it. Some people are using it as, like that Michigan governor. But no, I mean, it's the very likely Occam's razor explanation is this is a real virus. It does pose a threat to certain segments within society. I say we should quarantine those people within society, not all of society. And there is a group of overeducated government academic types who have like health management and emergency reserve management doctorates, and this is their time to shine. And this is where now they finally, and they're going to make this go as long as possible. But we'll get back to normal.
I have the weird hunch that after the election, it's all going to be over.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's just this weird hunch I have where it's like, oh, Biden is in office. Oh, well, look, everybody, Corona's down. And
Modern
people
Life,
will
Johnson.
swallow it.
They will. No, I mean, I looked at polling data. People are, I'm like, okay, all right. And then I'm just like, oh, fine. I have so little energy right now to care about these things. I'm throwing it in. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Everyone's losing their minds. I'm going away now. I mean, like, imagine remember when you went to middle school or high school? I don't know if it was bad for you, but like, you know what the best thing to do when I was in middle school or high school would have been? To walk away, to just not go. And like, no, I'm homeschooling or whatever. I didn't have the wisdom at the time. It's like, you're not sending me to that fucking insane asylum. All right. I'm not going to that abusive area, that literally toxic environment. I am not going there. I'm going to read the books at whatever. Modern Life Dating. John's in the house. What's up?
Yeah. Could you make him a mod? He requested that. If you still know how to.
You know what? You all right here.
You did that one to yourself.
I know, but I like to get all these things done. Look, okay, today's podcast was a little off kilter, a little jarring. All right, but now we are more stabilized going future, because you guys are like, oh, we got to do some mods. So was there anything wrong with the chat room today?
No, not really.
Why did everyone say they needed a wrench or a band hammer?
I don't know. It's power. It's a power play, Cappy.
Okay.
We're playing.
Al Cortez 173. I'm getting my money back working for the government. They voted in my high-paying job in California. I'm taking advantage of it. Thanks for the excellent point. Yeah, I got some people who are retired, living off government pensions in California, and they're just taking their money back. They're just taking it all back. Here, you want to talk about your people?
My people? What
your people? Your people. At your age, Jack, you're 30. What percent of 25 to 35-year-olds, what percent of the Netherlands wealth should you guys own?
To be honest, I have no idea, because I'm not that knowledgeable in the economic numbers of that. But as the statistics showed last time, what I showed you, that 5% of American millennials own the wealth, I would hope at least 10%.
It's not that, but would you say it should be about 40 or 30%?
I guess.
No. Think about this. How long have the millennials been working?
Oh, long enough.
They have been working? Really?
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, my question is one of the math of wealth. How do you accrue wealth?
By working or being of value.
Right, but what do you have to do with the proceeds from the work?
Invest.
I'm not talking income. Right, wealth. You need to invest it. Who's had more time to invest and have things grow exponentially?
The millennials.
Okay, the millennials, good for them. What, last week you paid off your student loans, yay, finally, and then you threw $100 into a 401k. Now you have $103. Who's been investing way longer?
The boomers?
And?
Gen X?
Yeah, older people.
Oh, yeah.
So so there's this article came on CNBC, and all these millennials, even on my team, which come on, guys, millennials own less than 5% of all U.S. wealth.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the one I sent you, right?
Yeah. Well, I've had several people send this to me. Like, I can't believe it. I'm like, look, you just moved out of your parents' house. Okay. As the millennial generation is, you just moved out of your parents' house. Maybe you finally paid off your student loans, some of the older and middle-aged millennials, right? And you have 5 to maybe 10 years in your career. All right. And you're bitching and whining that you only own 5% of the wealth. Half of you don't even own a home. Most of you don't throw money into a 401k. All right. The boomers at Gen Xers, not because of nefarious controlling reasons or oppressing you. They're older. They've owned their houses longer, and all that money you voted for. Remember that man, the black man's dick, not Dre's, the other black man's dick, Obama's dick, that the millennials just could not choke down enough when he printed off all that money and lent it to you, all right, for student loans. And then you immediately pissed it away. And then it entered the market and then went through the banking system. And then it drove up all the boomers and Gen Xers' housing values and stock prices, they got it back. Right? Now, that is what drives wealth, investing early. Because what will happen in 50 years, Jack, when the millennials are the oldest generation? Who do you think is going to own the majority of wealth?
They will.
They will. They will. I think they will, because that's just natural progression. You start now. In the olden days, you could build wealth fresh out of high school and start working in effective, but neither here nor there. All right. Now we've delayed that because everyone needs their master's degree in FOMO and YOLO and all. Maybe you'll get around to a 401k at 35. But I just find this an intellectually dishonest article. Despite making up the largest portion of the workforce, millennials control only 4.6% of the U.S. wealth through the first half of 2020, according to data from the Federal Reserve. Baby boomers control over 53% of the country's wealth. Yes, I would expect so. While Gen X accounts for just over 25%, and the silent generation holds around 17%. Also a dwindling percentage of the population, but they're the oldest. Of course, they have almost a fifth of the wealth. According to the Fed data, which breaks down the U.S. wealth in the beginning of 2020 by age, class, and race. While it's not abnormal for older generations to be wealthier than younger generations, they have had longer to earn money and accumulate assets. After all, the Fed's data also shows that millennials have far less wealth than boomers did at the same age. Well, right, because you all want to get master's degrees. You all want to go into student loan debt. In 1989, when baby boomers were around the same age as the millennials are today, they controlled 21% of the nation's wealth, all right? Do you know something else about the baby boomer generation?
Which is they haven't saved up for retirement enough?
Well, that too, but notice how they're not going to do the same numbers for Gen X. The reason boomers controlled more of the wealth is because they are a huge percentage of the population. That's why they're called the baby boom. They conveniently failed to mention what Gen X was at the equivalent number. By the way, these numbers are in my book, How Not to Become a Millennial. That's almost 5 times as much as what the millennials own today. Many previous reports have found that millennials are on average worse off financially than their parents and grandparents were at the same age, despite being better educated. Jack, what are they educated in?
Worthless degrees.
Worthless shit. No shit. Wow. Really? You mean the $150,000 in debt you have for your English poetry degree? That's not really. But you're better You guys have got to get this lie out of your heads that education makes you smarter, better, or more employable. It is the type of education.
I mean, isn't that the intellectual class is how they call it?
Good for them. What, the parasite class? The egotistical parasite class? The welfare bums, they're just the parasite class. They never claim to be like superior or snobby. But, these people that work for Condé Nast that write lecturing pieces on websites, and then they all collect a government check because they have their journalism degree. Those I can't stand because they're parasitic and hypocritical. The coronavirus pandemic exacerbating the inequality. While every corner of the economy has been impacted, job loss has been particularly heavy on low-wage workers in in industries like retail, education, and hospitality. Millennial workers, as well as women and minorities, make up a disproportionate share of these workforces. Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's how you start younger. Mm-hmm. It's bad timing. It's a pandemic. I'm terribly sorry. Additionally, millennials have largely missed out on the gains made in the stock market over the past 3 months. They only just own 2% of total equity in corporations and mutual fund shares. Baby boomers, meanwhile, own over 55%. Well, they've been contributing to their 401ks. Of course, comments are not allowed. So there we go. Anyway, I'm glad we had this conversation about simple math and that time and money. And how many times do I have to tell people not to major in stupid shit? You think I'm ever going to have to tell people to stop doing that?
When did Worthless came out?
2011.
I mean, almost 10-year anniversary. Almost. Right. And nothing has changed.
No. Our East Indian agent in the field, Rahul, 200 rupees. Cappy, how do I get rid of spending guilt? I have abnormally high savings rate, 50%, but I still feel I'm not doing enough. Can't even buy a damn video game without feeling buyer's remorse. What to do? I wonder if Rahul was brought up poor. Like if that's the case, Rahul, like you needed every rupee or penny to count, you don't ever get rid of it. It's part of your survival mechanism mentality that's been built into you. You don't get rid of it.
No, you really don't.
What I would do is treat yourself to things. Because Jack, you obviously treat yourself to some of the finer Lego things. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're not going to set you back in your finances, right? I'm going to get a 1909S VDB wheat penny. And it's one of the more famous collectible pennies out there because it's the one penny the kids didn't have, because back in the 80s, it cost like $500. Now they're up to, I think, like $1,500. And okay, do I need a wheat penny?
No.
No. Do I want my wheat penny?
Yes.
Yes. And it is a treat I'm going to buy myself. Now, will the wheat penny hold its value in theory?
Yes, it will even increase.
It might, well, it'll keep up with inflation, I'd say. I don't think it would increase in value, but it's this thing I want to own and be like, oh, I always wanted my classic car. You know what, buddy? You're allowed to have your classic car. Go and enjoy it, get it insured, and then time's going to come where you're going to pass away, you can't drive it anymore, and you're going to leave it to some other guy to have fun with. And so I wouldn't say go party and get booze or bottle service or travel or whatever like that, because you don't have anything to show for it. But I got to imagine somewhere in Rahul's life, there's been this collectible that is completely frivolous. You know, maybe it's a painting he's always wanted. Maybe it's a piece of art. Maybe it's a coin. Maybe I don't know what it is. Maybe a nice suit. He's always wanted a tuxedo. Try and buy something that will be with you for the rest of your life, that you're going to, like my tuxedo. I bought it in 1993. I still fit into it. That has served me. Yeah. Just standard black James Bond tuxedo. One of the best investments you can make. I don't know how it is in Europe, but in the United States, we got prom. And I think that's spring. And at the end of every spring, the tuxedo rental places will sell their older models. But just a standard tuxedo, which has never gone out of style, you could pick them up for relatively cheap now. But, you know, get a nice suit. And then, you know, the guilt never goes away, but that will probably introduce you to like, okay, it's okay to buy something every once in a while. Or maybe just, you know, if you like a particular scotch or a high-end drink, why don't you go sample it before you die? Like, hey, and again, I'd say that's an investment, because Rahul, you don't want to, let's say you really have a penchant for scotch. You don't want to miss out on all those different scotches. You know, maybe once a month you earn yourself a scotch, and you even if it's $100, none of these rupee former British colonial things that they let you guys have. You know, get yourself one of those Japanese scotches. They're really good. But whatever it is, view it as you are failing at life if you at least don't treat yourself to one or two of the occasional finer things. As long as it doesn't threaten or cripple your underlying finances, you should be fine. And like, in me, you know, I got to save up for it. But me buying basically a $1,500 penny, you know, it is the car I have wanted since I was a child, and now I have it. I rule. You know, kind of get something like that. And then,
I mean, what's the word again? What am I looking for? You're making priorities. You're making priorities. So let's say your number one priority, as I see Raul doing, is saving. So you get your paycheck. The first thing you take out of that is what you want to save. Everything after that is, of course, for, well, mandatory expenses, things like that. But what's left over after everything has been said and done, I mean, you have fulfilled your duty as a saver. Why not use that for something you want? Well, you just want to enjoy. I did that with my ships. Like, the savings going to happen first, then the mandatory expenses, and what I have left, well, that's going to be used to save up for one of these ships. So I never made the ships a priority. These things always came after everything was already done. That's how I got rid of the guilt.
Yeah. And another thing, I'll explain this from an economic philosophy standpoint. Rahul, you can't take it with you. And what you're doing is you're going through Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where like beforehand, every penny or rupee counted. You need to save. And then you're like, oh my God, wait a minute. You never want to go through that again. Okay. Now on the same token, if you don't loosen up a little bit, you're going to be in a frantic mode this entire time, and you'll have a lot of money. All of a sudden you'll be this millionaire who dies and he never enjoyed his wealth. All right. Now, again, wisdom, and I think you're old enough and wise enough not to piss away your money on bottle service and a fancy sports car, but you got to spend your money on some fun things. And that's why I would say your hobbies are probably your best choice. So Jack has his boats. I have my motorcycle riding. So whatever it is, like, realize if you don't spend it, the government, I don't know what the Indian government's like. They're going to get some of it. Right? They're going to go to people you don't want it to go to. Or maybe you want it to go to your nieces or whatever as well, in inheritance. But man, live life. That's the whole point of you being here and making that money. If you've played your cards right and you're fiscally disciplined, the reward, the prize for first place and winning at life is we get to go have fun. We get to enjoy things. So I occasionally will buy some sushi or some poke bowl. We get the poke bowl right there. I might even treat myself to a very nice septic tank. You never know what luxuries I might buy, but it's never going to be, I think you'll be judicious in not squandering it, but like I think a collection of something valuable would be a good place to start.
Oh, you'd be surprised how these ships have gone up in value.
Really? There's a collector's market for that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
The one behind me with the black and white sails, the bigger one, what I'm putting at now, that one's already worth 350 euros.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, whatever you... All right, James G for another $5 generous. As a banker, what is the best way to get business loans from small and medium-sized banks? How do you locate banks in lending mode versus not lending? They're always in a lending mode. I don't know if you could get them into a lending mode. See, that's in already going with smaller banks. They're already in a lending mode because the bigger and medium-sized banks have passed up on them. So your most desperate banks are going to be your credit unions, if they have a commercial lending department, or your community banks, your smaller banks. That's just a general rule. But if you got a good business idea, or you got collateral and cash flow, I wouldn't go with Wells Fargo because or a Bank of America, any of the larger ones. But your quickest thing is just go to a small bank, have your finances together. Don't file extensions. I know I don't know any of my financial data for 2 years. Well, that 2 years is pretty important. Get good audited financial statements. Get your tax returns. What else? Get year-to-date financial statements, because we're already 3 quarters through the year. Have from January to September 30th. Have good credit, and that should be it. That should be good. Have a clear idea of what you want your business to do or what you want it to be. Have projections and financial projections. There's a bald sage in Canada with a beard who said something like, do the work. And so go do the work and then present it.
The great wise man on the white mountain of the north.
Who drives a fancy car. Yeah, he drives his fancy car. James for $2. Loans in the Midwest, Mid-Atlantic around 500,000 to 15 million. I don't know. That's 15 million is not a small business loan. It's 500,000 is. And non say, hey, look who's in the house. Non-Star Dre. Are the ships pre-made or do you assemble them?
You have to assemble them. All of them. It's a very, how do you say that? It's almost meditative. Where you just take the time, you build them up. And then
a buddy of mine, his mom, who's old, has 3 5-gallon buckets of wheat pennies. And I know in that many wheat pennies, there has got to be some with mint mark errors, some collectible ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I don't want 3 5-gallon buckets, but I'm wondering, like, if I had one and I could just listen to podcasts and with my magnifying glass, just go through them one at a time, it'd be very calming. It'd be very relaxing, very soothing. And I just like slowly going through that. Then, I found a 1955 double die. Oh, I made $5,000. Yay.
That's the same thing with these ships. Just very soothing.
Yeah, man. What, you just throw on your headphones and you go away?
Yeah, well, it depends. There was one ship I assembled with the girl I've been dating then. And funnily enough, that's when the moment happened, because for some odd reason in that set, Lego decided, you're going to need to sticker some things. I'm like, you have everything on print.
Sticker?
Yeah. Like most of the Lego pieces are printed when there's something on it.
Okay.
Yet with this set, they decided we're going to sticker it. So I want to do that as precise as possible. At that moment, she decides it would be of value to me what her girlfriend told her. So I sit there very, very concentrated, like watching how the sticker goes. My girlfriend! I'm like, shut up. Immediately she's quiet. I'm like, can you?
No.
And then I was done, and I asked her, "Okay, what did you want to tell me?"
Jack, I'll tell you another thing about girls because you're a little bit younger. They just want to help. That's all they do. They want. I saw it in dance classes. They want to help, and they don't realize that in doing that, they are being destructive. They are not helping. It comes from a good spot, a good heart.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But all right, I'm sorry. Continue. So, did you get the sticker on? What?
Yeah, I did get the sticker on, luckily. And then I had it on. I looked at her. What did you want to tell me? Well, my girlfriend told me. Okay, that's nice, dear. That's nice. That's very sweet.
Nice story. Thank you.
Yes. Sometimes it's just. I mean, you love being annoyed by those moments. In all honesty. If there's one thing I need to be annoyed of, let it be that instead of Lefty stealing my money.
Well, yeah, compared to that, yeah, of course. Terrorist theft versus my girlfriend asking me an annoying question. I'll take the innocent but annoying question. But no, I just have this dream in my mind where the food will just be made without any input, not a question. Just like someone else has made those decisions, so I am not burdened by them. What do I want for a side? I don't care. Well, no. I said I don't care. Now let me do my thing. I was currently in the middle of doing. Because if they didn't ask, then that mean they wouldn't care. Oh, that's. But you guys will get older, you'll realize that. All right. Wait, we got one more. Nonstop Dre. Cappy will have bonsai trees and Jack has shipped. Yes. I'm going to have my vineyards. I'm going to be attending to my grapes. And I'll be sitting out there with my headphones and very calm, be very relaxing. And then I'll kind of maybe I'll mark where the septic tank is. I say, the good septic tank is down there somewhere. Then I'll just grow my I guess no one's gonna buy my my grapes if like the septic tank is underneath the grapes for some reason. I don't know if maybe I should move that.
But that can be your Operation Evil 2.
Right. Hey, feces grapes. Hey, this has a slight odor to the wine. Yeah.
It's like the coffee made out of cat shit. You know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah, but I'm not having that coffee.
No, me neither.
The vines would have to go pretty far down to get to the poo. I don't think.
You've seen that movie, The Bucket List, with Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson?
Jack Nicholson. No, I haven't.
Oh, there's a great scene in that. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. You won't be wasting your time as with Baby Driver.
Dude, God, oh my! Don't start me about that Baby Driver.
Okay.
Oh man. Although me and the GF did watch The Accountant. And everyone told me that was a dumb movie. That was a clever movie. I really enjoyed The Accountant.
Haven't seen it yet.
What's his name? Pot smoking guy.
Seth Green?
No, in shape pot smoking guy. Formerly pot smoking guy. Serious actor. Him and
Chris.
No, not
Pratt.
Chris. No, not Chris Pratt. Him and Good Will Hunting guy were buddies.
What's his name? Matt Damon and Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck. Yeah, Ben Affleck. Real good. Like, he's just quiet and, very precise with his words. And there's another scene where the girl's like, bah, 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 bah. He's like, yeah, I got it. He's like this super genius. He's like, yes, I know. Well, I did this. He's like, thank you. You could just see him getting progressively more agitated, like, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, it was but aside from that endearing aspect, it's a good kind of loner guy. You know what it reminded me of was The Professional with a young Natalie Portman, and I forget the French actor, but that's a great one. Again?
I
he's
know
good
who
actor.
you mean. He was in Leon as well. Leon,
Yeah.
French movie. I don't know his name anymore.
But
Forgot,
he kind of has his life, and then a person comes in and interrupts. And in this case, it's Natalie Portman. Discovers a little bit of humanity in there. Interesting story, but there's an overarching. We got to shoot the bad guy. Okay,
Jean Reno. That's him.
Jean
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 Reno.
Renault. Okay, well that's pretty French.
Huh.
Osama Abdu for $2. Older box truck conversion would be very efficient. Yes, even better than that, Osama. If you're going to do this RV thing, they're called sprinters. I don't know if they're what they're called over in Europe, but the sprinters, they're kind of a very upright, made by Volkswagen or Mercedes, some German company. Those have good fuel efficiency. They're tall enough that you can walk into them. You can put a cot in. So if you're going to RV it, do that. Otherwise, it's usually just cheaper to go Airbnb or get a cheap rental or couch surf with a buddy. Yeah, here's everybody. Jean Reno. Yep. That's it. No. All right, that's it. You want to plug your stuff for everybody?
Real quick. Oh, hold on.
Dylan.
Real quick. There we go.
Delaware versus Nevada for royalty-based LLC. I'm in Florida. I would say Nevada, but you're going to have to hit that up with Elkins. I'm pretty sure it's Nevada because Delaware is for C Corps. Your big ones.
Oh, sorry about that. You were saying?
Oh, we just got a super chat, so I'm answering.
That is a nice photo of that pig. It's got boots. Link to my channel is in the description. Red Evening every Friday night with Rob Says.
Who is going to remember that?
You can click it, Boomer.
Oh, okay.
It's clickable.
Just search Jack Napier or Red Evening. That's what I would do.
Yeah, well, I'm of the technological generation. We do use clicks and things like that.
Okay, here from an agent in a few blue diesel. I take this back, Osama. I work on sprinters. They are terrible. Don't buy them. All right, so don't do that. Never mind. I heard good things about them, but there's a mechanic who says don't. So I'd feel bad if all of a sudden somebody went out and bought one. It's like, this thing sucks. And then there's an article written about them. I was 67 and I was not here to help me out. It's just so sad. I had to raise my children by myself, but it's kind of hard.
But I have my dream.
My dream.
I'm an American.
I'm an American, damn it. Where's my big man, my fat women? Get Rich Sterling women in here to bang our thick women. All right, take us out.
Toodles.